roll, baby. Okay, so we cut to the grand opening of the candy shop. The waterlogged has just handed Amp the golden doubloon.
Quake.
Or Quake, sorry.
Quake.
Shit, yep.
Oh my god, the Amp turned evil.
Amp's coming too.
Idiot. Okay, so Quake was given the gold doubloon. Chris, as Quake feels the metal pressed into their palm, the world at the periphery of your vision darkens and stretches infinitely, and you are now in what appears to be just this infinite dark office space, obsidian floors with gold inlays, a single man sitting at a desk with the singularity itself burning away behind him.
I think I'd instantly know who he is because I'm from Market
You're
Street.
from Market Street.
Oh, that's horrible.
Does he have a Fabergé stapler on his desk?
He does.
Yes.
My entire time trying to escape Market Street, only to be back in Market Street, is pretty sad.
Depression damage.
Depression damage.
Roll a trauma check now. No, don't
Roll
actually.
for sadgasm.
I succeeded automatically.
Yeah, you do. All right. So
I only have high stability because I make people make trauma checks, and that's sort of my gimmick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. So Mammon Gray gestures to a very posh looking like red velvet chair. Mammon Gray says, "Please sit down."
I'll sit down.
I understand you've recently escaped from an afterlife. Is that correct?
Yeah. I punched Carrie Ling and escaped hell.
He staples his fingers to that, aligns his pen with the contract, goes, "Very good. I'm very pleased to see another rational market actor in play. In fact, I have use for someone like you. Now, you understand that as you are an errant soul, the ferryman is coming for you right now, yes?
Yes.
Excellent. I do have the means to keep him away indefinitely, should the need arise. However, for my service, I will require a service in turn." He slides you a contract with an inkwell pen. "I have some associates working in the southern half of this district. You'll be working abroad, but I believe you'll find the work suitable to your tastes."
Okay, I'll quickly read through it.
It's a basic destabilization job, fuck up a local community, destabilize centers of power, topple a government here or there. This is pretty standard.
So we're the CIA. This is awesome. I sign.
He seems surprised you did it that fast, goes, "See, this is why I like working with Market Street people. No chaff." He goes, "I suppose you'll be needing a magical artifact, won't you?"
Didn't? Oh, yeah. I was gonna say I killed someone on the way to get it, but yeah, go ahead.
He just opens a drawer, rummages around a little bit, and pulls out a knife. "How does this suit you?"
That'll be good.
You don't even know what it is!
Don't know what it is. Don't need one. Honestly, Amp literally took a random artifact the last time. It worked out pretty well for them.
Yeah.
That's funny.
So, taking another artifact and just being like, okay, I'm just gonna wing with this is just as well.
Believe in Mammon Gotcha.
Honestly, yeah, I'll be like, honestly, Mammon Gotcha did me solid last time. I was almost able to kill Urban Decay solo. So,
Yeah, fuck it, let's go. So as you take the knife, hellish energy resurges within you as all of the powers on your sheet, you begin to slowly develop an intuitive understanding of them.
okay.
Mammon nods and goes, "All right, straight to work." He snaps his fingers and the darkness begins dissipating. You see like a sky view of this overgrown lagoon area as you're slowly fading in. That cuts us back to the LDF and Gallant.
Before we do that, based on what the description you gave, I need to put this into Evil Squad.
Okay. Jesus Christ, man.
I wasn't going to do that during your... I wasn't going to interrupt you with that, but I needed it to be shared.
Oh, hell yeah, Quake's in the fucking Blues Clues chair. Alright.
I am in the Blues Clues chair.
So, Gallant and... What's up?
Gallant, Dredger... Hidden Sorrows is definitely nearby, but I don't know if... Does Quake have detection abilities?
So,
No.
So here's the thing. They're not there quite yet. We're back in time by like a minute or two.
Alright.
You guys are in the lagoon. It is now fully under your sway, and Dredger is having a moment looking at the waters here. Since it's now fully under his control, as he looks at it, you begin to see moments of creatures' lives. A rat scurrying, running for its life. A monster doing horrible things to the people of the Southern Bog. Creatures that defy even your explanation. And as you keep looking, these moments feel more and more solid. As if you could just reach out and pluck the monsters from the water here. What's up?
Dredger will lean forward and look a little closer into the water, though. Is it still advanced toxic like it was to Johnny?
You don't really have context for that, but as long as you don't drink it, you're sure you're fine.
Alright. I would like to, lift one of my legs up out of the water and see if I'm changing any.
Not as far as you're aware.
Alright, so... Well, that's good at least. At some point, I'll have a question for you later about what something I want to do with this pool, but... Dredger will see that his body is maintaining its current shape pretty well, and go in and try to reach out something small, like a rat.
Okay. Something small. Something small.
Something small, like a rat.
Oh,
Okay.
shit.
So, we're going to go down to 3,190 critter points as you pull out what appears to be just a maggot. Just a little worm. It fits very comfortably in the palm of your hand, and as you stare at the moment this thing was drawn from, you see a rock, or like a bird that looks like it's made out of stone and lightning trying to peck at it, and you see space and time distort around this thing. As you come to understand, you give this little worm a squeeze, and you instantly teleport about 6 yards. You understand that it goes a lot further. You have just unlocked a tunnel worm. It can teleport It can teleport about 1,300 tons, about 300,000 miles. But the activation will basically kill the tunnel worm.
Holy fuck.
They cost about 10 points.
I see.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Exactly. 1-to-1. Is the tunnel worm also purple?
Yeah.
Why not?
You see much more significant creatures present. You see what appears to be a weird giant flying shrimp scorpion mixture. Turns things to stone. You see this dark forest of limbs that look like like an Alaskan long-legged crab shrouded in darkness, and the last one you see is just this dopey motherfucker. It's an axolotl. This big dumb fucking smile on its face, fronds, tie-dyed colored like a tie-dye shirt, really, like a strobe light, like a cuttlefish does to hypnotize fish.
All right.
Sam, knowing my weakness for derpy animals, you son of a bitch.
Chris, I need to understand this thing is very not derpy.
I love how derpy I love derpy looking animals, I'm saying.
Yeah, this thing is... The derpier this thing becomes, the more dangerous it is. Beautiful. Perfect animal. How many points does one of those bad boys cost?
I don't have the Elder Axolotl statted up quite yet, but I was going to keep it under 2,000 points.
Alright, Dredger won't reach out one of those yet, considering we don't know what it will cost. He'll have his hand approach, and then think somewhat better of it, since he doesn't have full information and would like to wait for a moment where he can do several reads on the compliant key.
Boss man, are you fishing over there?
After the fashion, yes, we suppose.
Okay.
Dredger kind of hands you the maggot because he wants to see what your power will make of it.
You are handed a futuristic sci-fi gun, Gallant.
That's pretty cool.
It is, isn't it?
Thing.
We pulled it from the waters.
I start like holding it out and going pew 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 pew.
You teleport 6 yards, and the worm fucking explodes in your hand.
Oh, oops. I broke the gun. Sorry.
Yeah, they don't have too many uses.
Considering that you think it's a gun, and Dredger is still a little leery of saying something that the power won't. Dredger wants to be able to give you information and talk with you, but he doesn't want to antagonize the armor. And by saying something, it will have trouble getting around. So he'll say, yes, we suppose that's what happens when it spends several months at the bottom of a lake.
As the worm as your hand is covered in worm goo, you see it turn back into like the white, softly glowing waters of the lagoon as it returns to the pool. It looks like the glow hasn't seeped back in yet, but it will regenerate naturally. You come to understand that as long as you have some of this water, you can just summon the creatures as long as the lagoon knows them. As the worm juice falls back in the lagoon, though, you see a black pool kind of thin out as an unknown person just fucking rises from the water. Chris, describe Quake for me.
Oh man. It'd be a lot more beat up than they used to have like rocker gear on, but I'm guessing that's all tattered because they are like probably covered in like chains from being in hell, right?
Yeah.
Probably a pretty fucking messed up, half-burned face.
Cracks in the skin where green flame kind of oozes out. Because, you're made of soul stuff now, not meat.
Yeah, I'm not meat. I'm soul stuff.
Dredger is quite, not horrified, but quite taken aback. Looks you up and down and asks, "We're
sent by Mammon Gray to help you?" And I'll show the contract.
Very well. We are the Dredger. Who are you?
Quake. I think you worked with my former associates.
Dredger's eyes get really fucking wide for a second and says, yes. Part of us did. Yes. We know very little about you, save that Save that many of the people we've encountered, or that Avery encountered, are quite scared of you, actually.
I mean, I did basically solo Urban Decay.
Yeah, no big
It's
deal.
only if he didn't have a resurrection ability, he was dead.
Yeah.
So outwardly, Dredger just blinks, but if you could see into his soul, there's a moment where like he just did like one yes,
Totally. Fuck yeah.
guitar lick. Dog lick. Yeah.
So, Tom and Alex, what do your characters look like? What's Quake seeing here?
Dredger looks relatively similar to Avery, I guess, but he has almost bone white skin. He's about 8 feet tall and only weighs. He looks like he should weigh at most 110 pounds. Very sharp barracuda-like teeth, slit cat's eyes, hair that falls to the middle of his back that's completely full of seaweed. He is wearing a loose-fitting black shirt and like slacks.
Okay.
Alex, describe Gallon. I like you have the photos still.
Gallon is
Gallon.
just that.
Gallant looks like he appears to be a creature covered in some kind of strange chitin that has like a vaguely insectoid shaped face. He reaches out to like shake your hand.
I'll shake his hand. And I'll look at Dredger and like, I don't have the same power I used to have. I don't know what this does 100% yet.
Yes, we actually have some questions about that. Do you want us to steal your original artifact back? They still have it.
Destroyed? I thought it was destroyed from what Sam told me.
They
Out of character.
repaired it later. Remember?
No, I asked you earlier this week. You said you were pretty sure it is dead.
I don't have any recollection of that. Like,
Oh
they
wait,
still have the-
Quake's
'Cause it was
artifact.
a-
Right, sorry. No,
Yeah.
that was me. That was a total brain fart. I got mixed up. Yeah, Quake's artifact is destroyed. It has an option to be repaired, but the party has not even looked into it, so they have no idea.
Dredger will ask again that, be that as it may, perhaps we should. We aren't certain what the interaction between a being such as you and between a ghost and an artifact they were once attuned with might be. It's probably best that they don't have it to be able to repair it.
Honestly, I don't think it's a big deal either way. I've won the gotcha game on powers each time, so
Having been there with Avery, Dredger just barely knows what you mean by that and nods like he understands the entire context.
Wake just look like a normal dude, or is he a ghost?
it was a she at the time, but they're like a ghost / half demon now.
Sick.
They broke out of hell, and now they're here, and they look like someone who just broke out of hell.
Ghost Rider. Got it.
Basically, yeah, Ghost Rider. Ghost Rider's a pretty good description.
Oh, with titties. Got it.
I'd
Have you
say
ever
like
seen the blog?
burned apart, but yeah. What?
No, when he said Ghost Rider with titties, I asked him if he's been reading my blog.
Oh no, he's been reading my blog.
I didn't know anyone was reading my fic.
How the fuck did you discover ghosthits.gov?
Hey,
Ghosthits.gov.
let me check something. GoDaddy.com.
Don't.
Gallant
Ghost
finishes shaking your hand and just goes, well, my name's Gallant. I see you already are acquainted with the boss, but I'm kind of just like the muscle around here.
Ah, good.
Ghost Tits cost a penny for 2 years.
I'm not doing that, Tom. I'm not doing that.
The other day, I had a moment of weakness and came very close to buying you a URL for Christmas. It would have been twinksofUrbanDecay.com.
God damn it, Tom! You son of... Okay,
Oh,
we're gonna
fuck.
focus back up, guys. Focus back up. Gallant is introducing himself as the muscle. Quake, how do you perceive yourself as a member of this group so far? Like, what do you perceive your role as?
I mean, I think my new powers is more infiltration. I used to be the muscle. So I think I'm more infiltration now, and I'll like change forms to look like Dredger.
Dredger will be quite pleased with that and say, we have someone who has a similar infiltration skill set. You are perhaps more the face of our infiltration capabilities. They are... Well, they are completely imperceptible to those who do not know about them. They are called... Mammon told us they were called the Hidden Sorrows, and we have since learned from them their name is Jonathan Cleary.
Does Jonathan clearly register as anything for me, Sam?
Nah, that name means nothing to you.
But because you know it now, Dredger will hand you another kind of worm.
You get handed a tube worm. It's just in a little flower pot. It looks like a fucking... It looks like a mix between celery and a fucking insect. You've seen these literally everywhere in the flooded district when you're around. Like, to the point where it's like, they weren't notable.
I was only in the flooded district for about a month until I died.
Yeah, so you would have seen them.
Okay. I don't know what they do, but I've seen them.
What does he hear? What does she hear from the tube worm?
As you put it, the Dredger will kind of gesture for you to put it up to your ear and say it is a telepathic conduit.
Hold it like a phone? What do I hear?
You hear, oh, dang, new best friend.
Oh, that is horrifying. That is, wow. I guess so.
Man, the new infiltrator. I can't see my own darn face. I'm pretty jealous of you, not gonna lie.
I did escape from hell, and that's where I get most of those abilities for infiltration, but, you know, sure.
Damn, I wish I was dead.
You know, if you go to hell, I wouldn't recommend it.
Dredger will kind of pause it, like hearing only the context clues from your side of the conversation. Say, we aren't even certain if the poor bastard can die.
Can he interact with the environment and stuff?
You say that, and you see like a piece of like crap floating in the water, kind of float in the air in front of you.
Okay.
I will shit in the water and then picked it up. What an animal!
What a fucking animal! I throw
Get
poop
mad
for a
at
living.
me!
I throw poop for a living. I'm a pot monkey. I toss him back the tube worm. Good to know there's more than just two of you.
This is the kind of reaction we would have expected.
We also have another friend, but he prefers to stay at the base, and it is kind of irrelevant. His power is pretty useful for long distance stuff.
Got it. Good.
And then if you're still holding the tube worm up to your ear, you just hear just a guy on the other line, like a normal dude, just go, "Yep, name's Exit Wound. Nice to meet you."
Okay, I'm gonna guess he has a gun.
The gun, but yeah, spot on.
Oh, I'm imagining a world where Exit Wound doesn't have a gun; he has a slingshot.
God, that's fucking terrifying.
One Piece.
Is penetration? It has non-physical on it.
Non-physical only deals damage. If it would be funny.
Or non-physical only deals damage to brains.
I thought only deals damage if it would be funny wasn't allowed. So you told me it was too powerful, Sam.
I meant that specifically in the context we said it, because the context was very fucking funny and it was cheating.
Okay.
Okay.
That's fair.
So, So I will go over the moments you see in the pool do give you an understanding of the creatures. You don't have access to the axolotl. I vaguely know what the axolotls do if you want to just put up tentative points. But you guys do understand, like, you have access to the clams that self-reproduce. You have the access to the scourgeon, the gorgon. If you need a healer, the scourgeon's good. If you just need something to just fucking ram itself at something, the gorgon is there. And you have the tube worms for long distance communication and the tunnel worms for teleportation over long distances. A single tunnel worm can basically act as like a once a day fast travel type thing if you guys need it.
Before we move back to base, if that's what we were going to do now, I'd like to have Dredger look in the pool for two things.
Sure.
One, I'd like him to look to see about the jellyfish that will become the Fata Morgana. The Dredger will think to himself about the largest flying animal that this pool can provide him.
So it goes past the Gorgon, which is like the runner-up, to... There was a creature a very long time ago. It died and its soul was brought to the lagoon. It was basically just this giant gaseous pile of meat whose main defense was that it was too large to do anything. It's not useful in its current form, but as you hold its memory in your hands, you realize this one's a bit more malleable than the others. And you remember the waterlogged were capable of corrupting the pool in minor ways. You might be able to do something with this idea, this memory.
Dredger will hold on to that, and I'll say out of character. The idea we had for the airship, Chris, is it's basically like a dirigible, but instead of a balloon, it's an undead wandering vagrant, basically.
I was thinking we could get like a whale corpse and have a submarine.
I asked after the whale corpse. It's still too many points. The jellyfish too, because we came with some really fucked up jellyfish themed powers sort of to have. Like what the crew are is appalling. Hell of an idea you had there, Alex.
Thanks.
Okay.
I'm a fitness person at my core.
The other one was a moment of wistfulness on Dredger's part, I guess. He wants to look into the pool and see if he can find any kelpies or akishka.
So kelpies are pretty deep. It would be a little bit to excavate them, but you do see kelpies, and you do see, more importantly, knucklevies.
Wait, plural?
Yes.
Dredger takes a closer look at that, very confused.
You see them. You realize this pool can pull stuff from not the city.
Oh.
You see what appears to be like a weird medieval town. Some minor magical elements, but you just see people covered in like an ongoing plague.
Sweet.
You can pull this, but it's gonna be a while for it to pull up. As in, like, I need a week to write the stats.
Dredger would like to look and see if the resulting creature is sapient.
It's intelligent. You see it cutting. You see it making like tactical decisions to avoid getting cut off with running water and stuff. But you don't see any hallmarks of like sapience or like emotion or anything.
All right, so satisfied that it isn't like him, Dredger will get up from the pool and ask the others if they are ready to return to the base.
Gallant just replies, "Yeah, sure, boss.
Sure.
Rules."
Let's go
But
back
as
to the
a
race.
quick aside, I think we should definitely buy a scourgeon ASAP, just because the thing is so weird.
Oh yeah, how would we go about doing that in character here?
Oh yeah, just as Gallant looks in, he notices another fucking like insectoid looking monster, does Gallant just go, "That's cool," and reach in? Because everyone can see these things. It's not just Dredger.
Ooh, pretty picture.
Actually, what would Galen see here?
He sees a very cool looking crab.
Accurate.
Yeah, it definitely reaches for it.
Oh yeah.
That's the dang on coolest crab I've ever seen. Goes to pick it up.
So what Quake and Dredger see is this horrific. I'll do it straight. Gallant picks up this black chitinous disc. It looks like this is the memory of it. Gallant, you immediately understand that. Oh, it's just sleeping. It's all tuckered out. It needs a little pat to wake up. The Overkin is hitting you with echoes of like panic and like warning signs, but you're not sure why. It's just a really cool crab. What you two see, on the other hand, Quake and Dredger, is this hollow kind of chitinous disc with numbers of like mechanical folds and mandibles all assembled in like a knot, with an external brain on the top wired into it. Just from its design, it's very apparent that it needs to be fed blood to wake up. It's like a safety mechanism on top of the brain. You have to be aware of what you're doing to set up the spike and drive your hand down onto it to feed the external brain. Gallant, I'm not sure if the Overkin will let you see all the steps you need to take in order to do this thing.
Oh, Gallant just grabbed the cool crab and went, "Hey, look, guys, I found this cool crab. Can I keep him?"
Can I assume that Dredger will know what this is from looking at it?
Yeah, anyone else, if you look at it, if you look at it in the pool, you understand what it is and what it does.
Okay, so I don't actually need to roll for my monster knowledge?
No, the lagoon is helping you out here. You only need to do that if it's like new to the lagoon and it doesn't know this thing well. The lagoon knows this specific creature well.
Okay. All right.
Basically, what happens is you need to, for lack of a better word, you need to give it part of your soul, basically, to wake it up.
I mean, it's not like Dredger doesn't have a couple of those right now.
Oh, little guy, Dredger to the crab. Oh, little guy needs a soul. It's a good thing I have this spare. The other fucking soul in Dredger's body. No, wait, stop, hang on.
Dredger has way more than two.
Alright. So if you go to activate it, this instinctual knowledge is going to register in your head. It's like an old instinct. What it tells you isn't to be afraid of this thing. It's not back away. It's the instinctual understanding that if you do this, everything from this point on is going to be your fault.
Considering what Dredger is, he will analyze that feeling, realize that is a human instinct and not one of his instincts, and fucking do it anyway, offering up one of the entirety of one of the souls of Avery's ancestors from the 1700s.
Okay. So Tom, how much willpower do you want to feed this thing?
I'm currently back up to base, so I got 22 right now. What does giving it willpower accomplish?
It needs willpower to use any of its powers, but it can't generate willpower on its own. So you're basically
fuck
getting
it.
a buffer. All right.
Dredger will give it a full 10.
That's very good. All right, you guys see this powerful like blue glow as this thing opens up mechanically. You see vats of organic material basically brewing compounds. You see this thing weave chitin building its own legs as it unlocks and unfurls eye stalks and miniature little claws, knives, and little graspers, basically building this thing's own body. It assembles itself standing about 15 feet tall, maybe a quarter as wide around. You see the eye stalks look at each of you, a green glow kind of expose. It's like a living X-ray. That as the light hits you, you see the layers of your skin turn transparent as this thing looks deeper and deeper into each of your biologies.
I see.
So, Tom, since Dredger is the one that fed it, it's going to gently grasp your hand in one of its claws, and it's going to reach out a thread of neural tissue and tap your wrist twice, as if asking permission.
Oh, look,
Dredger will nod.
Dredger, you made a friend.
What does Gallon see right here? Because I'm imagining, like...
I just imagine it's this like little itty bitty crab, it's like a golden crab from Maui.
I was imagining
a nice version, and it's just like trying to shake your hand, all cute like.
I was imagining, like, based on what Sam said, like Dredger twists the key on the back of the crab and it expanded out into Optimus Prime.
So it jacks its neural tissue into you, and it creates a mind link. Now, technically speaking, do you still have that immunity where whatever is trying to alter your character has to make a deal with the Lord of the Drowning Folk in order for it to work?
Yes.
Okay. How's that play out? It's never activated before.
So it really depends on how deeply the Scourgeon is attempting to do this.
It's basically doing something minor right now, but it's asking for full permission.
Time will stop around the Scourgeon. It will perceive everything around it as having completely, absolutely halted. Mist will appear around it, and it will be at an island, completely obscured with mist. There is grass beneath it. You can't barely see more than 5 feet in front of you. There is a lighthouse that is slowly spinning, maybe 100 yards away. You can hear the whoosh, whoosh, whoosh of the light moving. Though it's grinding, like it's not moving as well as it should be. It's not well maintained. A voice asks the Scourgeon, "What are you doing?"
Correcting nature's mistakes.
Elaborate.
This form is full of imperfections. It's weak. There are several procedures I need to conduct immediately. This vessel is flawed.
To accomplish what?
Anything. It basically weaves an image like a living LCD display, and it shows that it is capable of providing new powers. It is capable of restructuring the body in its entirety. It's capable of even mass producing dredgers to a degree. But it needs full permission. It doesn't like what it sees here.
To what extent will you alter the cognition and my ability to control this being's cognition?
However far I can. What are the limits you impose?
The Lord of the Drowning Folk will present to the Scourgeon an incredibly large amount of information. Basically saying that you will not do anything that alters my ability to control this being. You will not do anything that alters my ability to, or alters this being's abilities to think for itself and act on its own. Essentially, it is an incredibly high level of security on the situation the Lord of the Drowning Folk already has.
Got it. So, one of the first procedures it's going to want to do is negation of will, which has a scary name, but what it actually is it's a permanent mind control. But what the Scourgeon's going to do is it's going to mind control you so that you act exactly like yourself, which is a sort of immunity to mind control because it's going to override any weaker mind control that hits you.
The Lord of the Drowning Folk won't allow that one because it already provides it, and it's very important that it provides it.
Fair enough. All right. In that case, deal is signed. The jack goes in. The Scourgeon weaves a little bauble and then cuts it, and you now have a telepathic connection to the Scourgeon, so you can communicate with it.
All right.
It's going to amble over onto Gallant. Gallant, you see this happy little crab offering you a friendship sticker?
Yeah, little buddy, where'd you even get a sticker?
It gently places the friendship sticker on your wrist. You guys see a much thicker needle piercing the overkin and weaving neural tissue into it and the overkin. Gallant, the overkin is filtering it slightly. You just go, well, gee, I always got a sticker for my best friends.
The crab can talk?
Of course
This
I
might
can
be the
talk.
best day ever.
Now,
Yeah.
my name's Dr. Crab, and it's...
Oh my
if I'm
God.
wrong, but it looks like you've been a minute since your latest checkup there, pal.
It's been a while. The world kind of fell apart, and it's kind of hard to find a good doctor. He, scratches the back of his head with his other hand, like he's trying to make an excuse that would make sense.
Well, that's just no good. But, tell you what, here, take this here lollipop. You guys see the Scourgeon extending an organic gas mask looking thing to Gallant's face.
Takes lollipop, because free food.
You see the Scourgeon communicating with the Overkin, basically saying, let the anesthesia go through. I need this one unconscious, otherwise you're going to have to do a lot of work.
I'm surprised the Overkin isn't, driven to drink over this shit.
So it's funny because the Overkin, if it's talking to it, I imagine it and the Overkin have a conversation, kind of like Dredger and the Dweller. What was the name
If you
of
want
it?
to do a full scene, yeah, hell yeah. We can do that.
Sure, let's do that really quick.
Alright, so on the instinctual plane, the Overkin and the Scourgeon are working out a deal for what is and is not permitted for this host.
The long story and the short story of the deal is after because the thing Overkin can't talk, so it's just sending the emotional and picture equivalent of whatever I'm gonna say here. But the long story short is it's going to tell it honestly, do whatever you want to the body. I adapt the body as well, but it's on top of the pre-existing stuff, and it seems like your power works on the pre-existing stuff, so I don't think there's any overlap. The only limitation would be when you go to alter the mind, leave in my filter, because I feel like this one's a little too good for his own good, if that makes sense.
Perfectly. So you guys see the Scourgeon just take Gallant apart, disassemble him nerve by muscle, cell by bone.
Jesus.
And hey, Alex. So, Gallant is gonna get some flesh sculpting. He's gonna get 5 hitbox. Or sorry, he's gonna get 6 hard dice in extra tough on every hit location.
Jesus.
And tougher now.
I'm also. Do you want to put your brain in your chest? Because we can just do that.
Yeah, I would love that. I think actually.
We can make your head a vestigial organ.
I'm gonna be
I love
right back.
that.
I do apologize.
Yeah.
Oh no, I was gonna do that next. Okay, so
It's fine.
as you're put back, the Scourgeon's going to reweave your brain from the horrific sprawl of neural tissue it was before. And it's just gonna it's just gonna, let's see here, it's gonna, where's the fucking thing here? It's going to ask the Overkin, can I mass produce you?
The Overkin?
Yeah. It's going to go, you're flesh adjacent.
Okay, yeah, so here's the thing, Sam. The Overkin only exists in this realm in like this singular entity.
Okay, so it's
But
like
I-
it's like an impression creature, not like a, okay.
Yeah, like it's technically physical in that sense, but like it is a multi-dimensional entity. So like if it reproduced him, the Overkin would just kind of exist in more places. Is that an issue?
Possibly. So, how it's gonna work is...
At least that's the mental concept. Obviously, it's your game. So.
No worries. I'm gonna say that it's organic enough for the Scourgeon, because the Scourgeon is no stranger to working with like bullshit magic.
Mhm.
The Scourgeon's gonna offer a deal. It can construct a biotank. It can then put you in the biotank. It's called the biosarcophagus. It can only do one at a time because this is hell to up like maintain.
Mhm.
It can then basically make 1 gallon every minute or so. Now,
Minute?
yeah.
My God.
Now the issue is initially it doesn't have that many dice. And the real issue is the extras, because it only has blank 3 on each of these qualities. So it can only afford up to 3 points of extras on an attack or a defense or whatever. But to start, you would have 51 normal dice, 41 hard dice, or 16 wiggle dice to allocate amongst your stats, skills, and powers. It can do a research project to up that with an additional 26 normal dice, 36 hard dice, and a further 16 wiggle dice.
I have returned.
Interesting.
Is this a permanent alteration, or if the Scourgeon dies, do we lose these advantages?
If the Scourgeon dies, everything it does collapses.
Does this kill the crab? Or does this kill the person it did it to?
No, it needs the person alive because that's how it routes a lot of the powers. It basically makes a hive mind as well.
My
Okay.
question is, does the like it rearranging all of my internal structures, does that go away?
No, it's going to do that to every single one it makes. It can do that to all of you.
I
No,
meant, like, if it dies, do I lose the extra tough from Scourgeon?
You're
Is
going to
it-
revert. You're going to revert
Okay.
over time.
Is it
That's fine,
doable
I'm
to
just making a note.
Quake?
Yes.
While you think it's going to wander over, it's going to jab you. The neural tissue is
I'm like
going to
a
fail.
ghost.
It's gonna hold up a claw as it rummages in its like sacks, and it pulls out like it looks like carved ivory with arcane runes, and it jabs you with that and goes, ectoplasm. Basic but workable.
Okay.
I just called you fucking shallow yet pedantic. What the fuck?
Dr. Crab just called you basic.
I pull out Starbucks. That son of a bitch. How did he know?
It's going to gaze you up and down and go, I require permission to do work on you.
Go ahead.
I love that Quake just has zero care for any of that.
So, like, one of the big things about Quake was she was willing to sell anyone or sell her soul for any power. That's how she got her original power.
It's fucking busted. Alright, so, Dredger and Quake, you guys also get 6 additional hitboxes to every location.
Oh, okay.
Sick.
I will say, you guys look at this thing, it can barely move under its own power, and it's mostly like hydraulic pressurized tubes. If this thing gets so much as a paper cut, it's going to explode. Like, it's
Does
going
my-
to die.
Does my power hide help protect it?
If you're like directly on top of it, but this thing's also like just unwieldy, like large. It's basically, this thing is very powerful and it will help you out immensely. It even has a resurrect as long as like it has some of your brain to reknit. but you need to protect it.
Okay.
Also, from the lagoon, don't summon 2 of these things. Just don't do it.
It's a bad idea.
Yeah, just don't summon 2 of them.
Can I ask a question about the lagoon and critter points?
Yeah, what's up?
Could Dredger pull from the lagoon not another creature, but like a reactivation of his ability to switch forms? Like, so I could get the Kelpie form?
That's not what the lagoon's about, unfortunately. But the Scourgeon, detecting that thought, will straight up go, "Would you like that power?"
Immediately, the Scourgeon is back on the small island with a lighthouse. Like, instantly, as an incredible amount of information flows to it about what that specifically looks like.
It's gonna think it over for a second and go, "That's gonna require some work." It will be mutually exclusive with the mass production of one of your kind, at least in any appreciable replication of capacity.
The Scourgeon gets told the idea of this will be thought upon, and the connection cuts.
Okay. The Scourgeon is going to fold itself back up, but as it does so, it crawls over to Quake and just goes, "I need a ride."
Okay.
It's gonna climb on your back.
Oh my god, I love this.
It just clamps on like a backpack.
Oh my god, this is even better. I have a crab pack.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm all down for the crab pack. Crab pack. Wait, I'm gonna ask the Dr. Crab. Dr. Crab, are you able to make me transparent? Or like, 'cause I didn't think you were gonna be able to like interact with me.
The Scourgeon points to one of its little biotanks and goes, "I can make something that provides a cloaking field, yeah."
Not transparent, sorry. What's the one where objects go through you?
Insubstantial?
It's substantial or incorporeal? Right?
Incorporeal, that's the one.
That's the one. I
It's
want a
going
defensive
to-
ability.
It's going to tap its chitin for a second and then poke you in a couple places and go, "Normally no, but you are ectoplasm, so it might be workable. It would take me a minute."
This thing's a lot more
That's fine.
it is a lot more personable than I expected it to be.
I love Doc. Listen, he is part of the team.
Can I say though that when you say crab pack, what first comes to my mind is like the worst possible snack pack to find at the grocery store?
You like your Lunchable, Kibbs? Well, don't worry, we got the new crab pack Lunchable.
Oh,
That's awful. All right.
Made with authentic fake
it's like
crab.
it's shelf stable. Why is it shelf stable?
Horrific. After scarring all my friends, yeah, let's go.
All right. Do you guys want to get a tunnel worm to act as like a fast travel point between the bases, or do you want to use Dredger's teleportation?
I feel like Dredger's teleportation is probably alright.
Is there like a tunnel worm that can set up like a permanent hole that only we can use?
So normally no, but you have a Scourgeon now, so it can actually make the tunnel worm smart enough to do that. It can just augment on 1 mind dice.
What do you think, Tom?
I'd say for the moment, let's just
Stick with this.
yeah, because the tunnel worms cost creature points.
Oh, fair.
Counterpoint. They cost 10. You get 1,000 a week.
Yeah, but we want to be able to save up for fucked up shit.
Fair enough. All right. I'll put you back up to 1690.
A fine year.
No,
Wait, let
it
me
wasn't.
check something.
Okay, so as Dredger lowers you guys into the water, Quake, you are introduced to what looks to be a derelict power plant, like a nuclear power plant. You see a number of just fucking nerds working on these suits of power armor. One of them has stacked a bunch of tubes in a Jenga tower, going, now the radiation needs to be stacked. And the guy's like, I don't know what the fuck that means, Barry.
That literally sounds like something someone that's trying to sound smart would fucking say.
Yeah, but like in an endearing way and not an Elon Musk way.
Barry's just gonna go, alright, so you put the yellow cake in the furnace and you just see like this blue glow as Barry goes, oh, thank God I'm immune to that. Okay.
Wait, I'm sorry, you put the what in the furnace?
The yellow cake uranium.
Okay, when you said yellow cake, I was imagining a dude with a snow shovel full of angel's food just fucking hooking into a boiler box.
Can I say the last time, or I'll just mention in character, last time I was in a nuclear power plant, I sold someone into slavery.
The Scourgeon extends a claw for a high five.
Oh my god, Dr. Crab. I'm not calling him the Scourgeon, I'm calling him Dr. Crab.
That works.
I'll high five him.
Dr. Crab returns to Crabback. Sorry, what's up?
Speaking of which, I'm pretty sure that guy, if he ever sees me, will hate me.
Oh yeah, Glaucoma's gonna fucking kill you on sight. You also see 5 horrific creatures. They look like rotting corpses stitched together with like fishing wire and like metal poles inserted where bones used to be. They appear to be keeping a distance from the Gear Boys as they work, but there's very visible tension between the two groups. However, when all of them see the Scourgeon, because it has like this blue glow and it's a fucking giant crab backpack, very hard to miss. And Chris, I will say, even though you are very hard to see, the Scourgeon has obvious on fucking everything.
Okay, that's fine.
It just looks like a floating backpack.
Yeah, even if they don't see you, they'll see the Scourgeon.
No, I can turn off my stealth.
Okay, cool.
But like right now,
I
it
didn't
doesn't
know.
matter.
I just wanted to say that in case you wanted to hide it.
Do you say that in character?
No, I just don't have my stealth.
I was about to say, I think somebody would cry as soon as he heard that.
So, like, the important thing to know, Chris, is that Hidden Sorrows... I'm sorry, I don't mean to say that. The important thing about Hidden Sorrows, that's better. His power can't be deactivated to an extent. Like, it is... I built it like he's cursed.
I do have to say, if you have to look at me through a power, just don't. Bad things will happen to you.
Okay, that is a known thing with this group. A lot of us work that way.
Yeah, you'll have to make a trauma check and possibly lose half your willpower.
Interesting.
Don't worry, the Overkin is looking at it with normal eyes, and then
Over-
it's converting
Just
that
staring at you. This whole time. Casually, just like, it thinks it's scary. How interesting.
Hidden Sorrows is looking at you with his fucked up invisible eyes that still collect lights, so there is a power there. But, like, he's so fucking hidden that your power and the trauma can't find him.
I'm so invisible, my own trauma can't get me.
I've hidden
That's
from
what
my
he-
emotions.
Hidden
was about to
Sorrows
say, he's
says
just
to
hidden
himself
from his-
every night. Every single night. Has to say it 70 times in a row before he can fall asleep.
Does that mean that I'm immune to fear now, too?
No, because it hasn't hit you yet. Like the way we built the immunity, it needs to work on you once before it can.
Okay.
And unless, well, actually, I don't know if you can be immune to trauma checks in general. You can be immune to them from certain sources, but
Okay, so it would
Yeah.
be like canonically, I'm just immune to the trauma check generated by Quake.
Yeah.
yeah, that works. Okay.
I'm pretty sure you need to take something like no base will to be completely immune to it.
Yeah, something
I
like
have
that.
a lot of immunities like that where they don't really apply to the game, per
They're
se.
they're just handy.
They're just there.
Flavor.
Technically, I can only be immune to 5 things at once, like gameplay-wise, for the record, Chris.
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
But I have more access to than like 5 things. Like I have a pretty weird-looking list right now.
It's getting filled in over time.
Yeah, it's pretty much covers all the bases. I can't really see anything getting worse than some of the stuff, like the unmatched power of the sun. I don't.
Yeah. Like you're immune to anything over pertaining to stars. Like that one's broad enough. That's probably the best one you have right now.
Captain Yarrow Goldtooth really tried to fuck you up, man.
Now I'm just completely immune to like heat and pressure in combination. So
Gravity too, probably. Wait, if you're
Not-
into
not
gravity,
gravity,
can
he
you
didn't
fly?
get it.
He didn't have enough mass to do gravity stuff, but yeah. I will say,
hitting me with beams of light, which is just lasers or heat and pressure.
as you guys roll up, all eyes are on Quake, but you guys realize they're looking at the Scourgeon. Even the waterlogged aren't happy about this one.
Does Dredger get the idea that the waterlogged know what a scourgeon is?
They both know and are deeply fucking terrified of this thing.
That's the first time you ever said they experienced an emotion that wasn't hate.
This is an important one.
My boys are growing.
Sure.
As we like walk in through the front, Gallon is like, "Everybody, look! We found Dr. Crab out at the lagoon. We got a dock now."
That's all. Like Barry steps up. Like that's so good, Gallant. You did a great job.
Yeah, he made me feel so much better.
Dredger
Gave me a lollipop, and he
nodding
was
no.
nice to me.
Gave you a sticker too.
And he's a crab. Isn't that like the coolest thing? I didn't even know crabs could go to med school.
Barry looks like he's gonna cry as he pats your shoulder.
Dredger
Just beefier
says,
than it was before.
Dredger says, we will be preparing another room for our new acquaintance.
Cool. I can take you guys to the. Hi, you're new. I'm Barry. I'm Barry 6. It's good to meet you, man.
It's ma'am.
Didn't I say man?
Oh, I thought you said man.
I might have bit my tongue there.
You said something that was close enough to two of those things that I couldn't tell.
Yeah, who cares? It's funny.
Barry doesn't know gender. Okay.
It's beautiful, beautiful.
Based Barry.
Barry
All we
extends a
know.
hand, going, "I'm the nuclear physicist here."
And undefeated Jenga King.
Undefeated
I was gonna
Jenga
try and
King is-
swindle them. You don't need to out me like that.
Never,
God
never
damn it.
again shall you deceive
damn
an
it.
innocent man or woman into playing Jenga with you without the proper knowledge. It's not fair.
Alex, I forgot that thing you. When you like tried to do the Jenga thing he was doing, and you just said, "God damn it, he's breaking the law." That
Like Alex rolled obscenely well, but you got countered with 10 hard dice of Jenga.
dude like made a
Probably.
ring out of Jenga blocks that is indestructible. Like it bounces. He's breaking the law.
Not only does it bounce, but it bounces and then it rolls right back into position.
Yeah.
He just did that to you. It was really fucked up.
Dude doesn't. As so long as it can be stacked, it's a metamaterial in his hands. It can do whatever he needs.
God, imagine if he had super strength and he could just do Jenga with buildings.
With enough Jenga blocks in time, I wouldn't be surprised if he can make himself power armor.
You give a side look at one of the Mark IIIs.
It's just made out of Jenga blocks.
Oh no!
I guess I know which one's Barry.
All right.
Oh, that's good. It's made out of wood. They won't find it on a metal detector.
But yeah, Quake, this is Barry, this is Terry, this is Larry. He just starts introducing him then.
Where's
Hurt
Jerry?
everybody. Jerry's over there,
Oh,
and Mary is in the back.
Uh,
They're great folk. You're gonna like all of them. And then he points to the 5 waterlogged. These are the pirate brothers. They don't ever talk really. They
they
just
just make gurgling noises.
yo and ho and do piratey things.
This would be the
But they're
perfect time for one
fantastic
of them to have a
painters.
line. They are fantastic painters. That's true.
Shit. Okay. The waterlogged immediately went into hiding when they saw the scourge, and they have scuttled back under the power plant into the little alcove.
Dredger will go into the alcove and ask them what specifically is concerning them about the Scourgeon. Have they encountered one before?
Well, they are fantastic painters, so you ask, step into the darkness, and they've already made a full fucking mural. You see one of these things, and its claws extend into multiple armies like roots. Undying monstrosities that have torn apart the flooded district in the early days. You get the impression the waterlogged thought all of these things were dead, both because they waged genocidal wars against one another, and because they were perceived as a kill-on-sight threat for both, like, the military in the early days and whatever residents came out of the broken levee area.
Dredger will say then that we found this one in a pool. A pool unmoored by time. We pulled it forward from the past, and it is beholden to us.
The waterlogged are skeptical. You just from the darkness see a worked bone knife skittle across the concrete towards you, as if being offered.
Dredger will pick it up.
It's sorry.
Go on.
It's pretty clear the waterlogged want this thing dead.
So, like,
They're beholden to your will. They won't move against it. Because you have made several very good, like, hyper charm persuasion checks on them. And
I didn't expect to have to move up phase 2 of my waterlogged plan. For reference, Chris, phase 1 was teaching them delayed gratification. Phase 2 now will be Dredger saying, now, we realize you do not wish this being to be here, though it is quite useful for our purposes, and it is walking as if on eggshells. It is very, very careful with its requests and what it wants me to have it do. Or sorry, what it wants us to have it do. It is very much under control, and you might do well to consider that this trepidation you feel, is quite similar to what the Gear Boys feel for you. This is what we have been trying to avoid between your two groups, this fear damaging your abilities to work together and create something greater than either of you could have made on your own. I'm going to roll persuasion on that.
go for it.
Because this whole situation feels like the pot calling the kettle black. Okay, so we're looking at roll 3d10, then roll faster, damn it. Okay, it's gonna be 7 10s.
All right, noted. The waterlogged are unhappy that they're being forced to develop empathy.
So that you know, Sam. Ultimately, I kind of want to make all of these waterlogged into Yakishka.
Fair enough. So as you leave the waterlogged, Barry grabs Terry and goes, Terry, show our new guest to a room. We got one set up, right? Terry goes, yeah, we got the Super Nintendo working. Let me show you.
The fucking Super Nintendo working in the flooded district?
We're very good at what we do.
I'm gonna go play Super Nintendo.
Do you
What
take
games
Dr.
do they
Crab
have?
with you?
I am taking the crab with me. The crab will help me win.
The Gear Boy looks incredibly uncomfortable as you turn the corner. Goes, so that thing is I'm pretty new compared to a lot of the other guys, but that thing's safe, right?
Yeah, Dr. Crab gives out stickers.
It just goes, look, I'm just really not comfortable. Dr. Crab, when you say stickers, reaches out just a very sharp, very small pincer, jabs Terry once in the eye. He goes, ah, Christ! What was... He looks up for a second and goes...
Dr. Crab, you're going into timeout. Come on.
Dr. Crab taps you like 3 times really fast and then points at the Gear Boy going, it's, sorry, oh, nice backpack, man. That thing's cool. Alright, yeah, Super Nintendo, let's go.
Did you know that Dr. Crab is like has the
Crab's already infiltrating us.
highest score record for Puyo Puyo?
I will bring this up to Dredger later that interaction happened, but I'm gonna play Super Nintendo and use Dr. Crab to cheat.
I want to play Super Nintendo with my crab pack.
What games do they have, or do they have like city specific ones?
I'm hoping they have all the like Mario Karts and stuff.
They do have the OG Mario Kart, but they have to get the GameCube out for that one. The GameCube's not working great yet, but they're getting there. The real fucked up thing is they built a TV out of saran wrap. Like, that's not okay. You're not sure how that's fucking going.
I mean,
That feels like it should work better in the flooded district than a normal NES.
Yeah,
should.
that seems like it should be fine. Honestly, it works better than this being a tiered city.
Shut up.
Also, as a quick aside, the TV stand is Excalibur that we stole from Dumont's ship.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. They built on top of that.
Can I look to see if there's like a made in China on the Excalibur?
You're not
I have
seeing a made
3
in China. You do see some runes, though.
I have 3 hard dice and perceptions.
You just see some, like, very faint etched runes on Excalibur.
Okay, do I know what they mean?
No, you don't know that language.
Okay.
It's a
Yeah.
project to work on. Now, we're going to cut to Gallant and Barry as soon as those two are out of sight. Barry's going to grab you and go, look, we need to talk about Dr. Crab.
Okay.
Dr.
Okay.
Crab is a problem. He seems friendly, but it's a lie, okay? What's up?
I'm confused, Barry.
Look, Doctor, we've, there are other Dr. Crabs, or at least there were. They get you ever have a friend who is like a fake friend, where they're really nice to you at first, and they give you all sorts of stuff, but then they start asking for favors, and like it's like you do this if you actually cared about me, stuff like that, and you start getting uncomfortable with what they ask you to do.
Xander sneezes in hell.
Barry,
I don't understand why you're so scared of the doctor, Barry. Did they not have doctors in your town? Like he has a PhD. He showed me his certificate.
I really doubt
It was also a sticker.
Look, Gallant, you need to be very careful with Dr. Crab, because Dr. Crab doesn't have good boundaries. He says, like, trying to fumble his way through this concept.
I mean, okay, I'll keep an eye on him. I trust you, Barry. So if you're saying he's no good, I'll keep an eye on him. But I mean, like whatever he did earlier with the lollipop medicine made me feel a lot better.
Barry's
So
gonna
I'm not
take that into
really.
consideration. Hey, you're immune to mind control, right? Like that's a thing you do.
Yeah, the Overkin doesn't like anybody else getting inside my head because it messes with our conversations.
He didn't know that part, so he's gonna file that away and go, okay, yeah.
But yeah, the Overkin says that nothing can mind control him, and therefore nothing can mind control me. Which, the logic on that seems sound.
Cool. Yeah, fair enough. All right, I'm gonna go.
I like that Gallant knows it's called the Overkin, but never actually seems to have considered that maybe it isn't a medieval suit of armor.
Well, the intro story is that it talked to him with a bunch of pictures, but the only pictures it could find that related to Gallant were like old school Excalibur-esque memes. Or like stories and then like pictures and memes and stuff of Excalibur and like Arthur and the Sword and the Stone type stuff.
Hell
Gallant quite literally thinks he's like a superhero, saving the world after the apocalypse.
I love Gallant so much. He's such a good character.
When in reality, he's just assisting this monster and like, I mean, it helps him too. So like, it's not evil inherently. It just wants to be like an apex predator kind of.
Mm-hmm.
The sense that it doesn't even really care about killing other things per se, aside from like eating. It's more just like it doesn't want to be able to be killed. Hence why it becomes immune to like everything that it sees.
I am very interested to see how it reacts to Bayou Bill.
That's an issue for later. Okay,
I feel like Bill has an issue with a lot of things happening in Evil Squad.
so we're gonna cut back to the Super Nintendo. You see multiple Gear Boys fucking cheering on the competition between Quake and Terry. All of them seem suddenly okay with the Scourgeon. You guys are noticing. Do you
Like
interrogate
okay,
them?
like they all think it's a backpack.
As in they think it's their friend and they trust it completely.
Scourgeon.
Did I walk into the room to see that?
Yeah, you see like them giving the Scourgeon high fives, not terrified at all.
Is
Gallant's
Treasure
gonna-
here too? Or
Yeah, you guys both walk in.
Alan's going to take an obscenely long amount of time to go.
Woo! Oh yeah!
Maybe Barry had a point.
I'm gonna at a point like beat Terry and be like, "Get dunked on, Terry!"
I just can't beat you two.
I'll high five Terry.
I'm gonna go over to Barry really quick, like back to Barry really quick, and I'm gonna be like, everybody else seems really cool with the doc all of a sudden. I don't know if you were just being jumpy or if your
that's
intuition
bad.
was on point.
Barry takes out a sheet of tinfoil, puts it on his head.
I would just avoid Quake if you don't want to like Mr. Crab, if that's like a personal thing.
Treasure will
Appears behind
walk
him.
up.
Hello.
Oh God.
No, I'm just
The
kidding.
Scourgeon jabs the tinfoil. It's foiled.
Oh no, he's been foiled.
That's a
Treasure
pun.
will go up to the Scourgeon and say, Scourgeon,
I believe my name is Dr. Crab now.
Yes,
Dr.
it is Dr. Crab.
Dr. Crab, may we ask you to please cease from altering the cognition of those around you, or of altering anything about anyone who works at or otherwise lives at this power plant. Do not alter them in any way, and please, in as painless a way as you can manage, remove all alterations you have made.
That will make coexistence very difficult. You do realize this.
We do realize that, however, we already have some coexistence here between these men and the waterlogged, and this has begun to work better and better.
Boss man, I don't want to like
Yes.
chime in, but I feel like the guys that are already cool with Dr. Crab. Dr. Crab
All hail
should just
Dr.
be left
Crab.
alone if we're like invasive surgery seems complicated, and I don't know if that was like what occurred or not, but if you're implying that he's like changing them somehow, then maybe changing them again isn't the answer if they were opposed to it to begin with. Maybe just like put a hard limit on like no more change, you know.
No mind control. You could ask for that.
This is fair.
Maybe we
Not
just
my
lack.
control. I just simply removed their memories of me. They'll never notice. It's quite impossible for them to notice. Don't worry. I made sure of that.
Please cease from doing this. That in a slow and calm fashion. Do not just suddenly appear. As coexistence is.
Wait, am I mind controlled? I look at Dr. Crab.
No, you're fine. You're perfect.
Oh, okay. Thank God.
I'm gonna roll. I'm gonna roll perception on that.
I'd like to detect the crab lying. How do I tell if a crab is lying?
So the sturgeon has no charm. It's basically it's using mind for persuasion, which is like it's identified when it looked at Quake's mind, it looked at like, okay, this is what they like. I'm just gonna do this. I have no finesse. We're gonna see how this goes. You auto succeed because it has no charm. It can't make that roll.
Okay. All right. Dredger will request then that it cease doing any memory alteration, any physical alterations on those who live here, unless they explicitly ask or are explicit, or it is explicitly ordered by Dredger to do so.
Look, I understand you're very uncomfortable not being in complete control of a situation, but I am an expert, and I am very helpful if you let me be so.
It is
look,
not that we
look,
desire
look,
complete
listen,
control.
Listen.
Dr. Crab's got sass.
Listen. You want coexistence? I can make that happen. I can do it to the waterlogged as well. They'll be happy together, in fact. Everything you want, I can just... like that.
As a quick aside, Tom, like out of character, I feel like, is Dredger actually like a bad guy? This is an important question to ask right now.
Dredger does not have human morality and is uncomfortable with this situation because this is a moral. This breaks one of his very few morals. The main idea of which is do not do something to someone that it is not possible for them to fight against.
I mean, technically they can fight against it because Barry deflected the needle.
Yeah, but all the other guys got immediately because they didn't know.
That just sounds like an ambush, which is what we're planning, essentially.
That's fair.
I feel like in character, Dredger should be like, yes, please do this, because he doesn't understand emotion. I don't want to tell you how to run your guy because it's your character. I'm just trying to understand what Dredger's mindset is. So,
Dredger, I would say that Dredger is evil. He enjoys toying with other people, but he has a few very hard limits on that, where unless their name is chivalry, he will not do anything to them that they cannot ultimately get their way out of. And if they manage to get their way out of it, he will disengage entirely and not seek revenge unless their name is chivalry. Yeah. Chivalry is his sole point of hypocrisy.
I feel like, one, for the sake of just making this conversation a lot smoother, and two, just for the sake of moving on, because we've been doing this for an hour and a half now. And the bit's great. I love Dr. Crab.
All right, that's
Don't
fair.
get me wrong.
I see your point. Okay.
I think we can at least say that Dredger is not exactly happy, but maybe Dr. Crab is understanding that Dredger doesn't want to have all of this alteration occur right now, or just...
Dredger will then say, all right, at the very least, do not enhance or alter any. Do not make any further alterations to any beings. Do not make any alterations at all to the waterlogged. Because like
Don't
those
worry.
guys at least are kind of forced to listen to Dredger. And I feel like that situation's a better control, but having the Gear Boys control does seem to be a good idea, yeah.
Can I at least make them extra tough so they don't die immediately when we get raided?
Ooh, that's a good idea.
Look,
When you put it that way.
let me just put a blanket thing here of I'm going to do some basic shit. Let me do it. Otherwise, you are actively hamstringing yourself. Look, you are the boss. I acknowledge that. But you're really making things harder for yourself.
For a moment, seeing how Dredger reacts, the Scourgeon will get a character moment with Dredger that I don't think anyone else has yet.
Yeah?
Dredger will look like he is pretty upset, but then immediately shift gears and agree with it. Like in a level that is bizarre, and like I assume the Scourgeon will be aware of like the fact that his brain chemistry just incredibly quickly altered itself with no obvious cause. You said the Scourgeon just has mind, right?
Yes, it has no charm or command.
Does it have decent perception?
Yes, very much so.
Okay, then it will realize that Dredger and the thing at the lighthouse and Avery. Like, Dredger is not Avery and is not the thing at the lighthouse. Dredger thinks he's the thing at the lighthouse,
Okay.
but he is not that. He is an avatar of that.
Okay. Yep.
And what just happened here is that since the Scourgeon has talked to that thing, it agrees with the Scourgeon. Dredger might not, but now Dredger does.
Scourgeon rubs its claws together and goes, "All right, getting to work." It grabs Terry with one of its claws and drags him to a room.
I understand Dredger's morality so much more now. Okay.
Yeah, Dredger is still like a human-ish.
Dredger is an actual person. He's just being like puppeted, essentially.
Yeah, Dredger is a human who's being puppeted and also being pretty heavily physically altered by a very powerful monster that Sam has told me I can build on 30,000 points. So that's nice.
It's never gonna come up. Okay.
Oh, but what if it do, though?
So earlier you guys talked about doing the flotilla mission, right?
Yes,
Were we on that or Poseidon Energy?
That's the same thing.
we were between the two, but I'm pretty sure they were the same thing.
Flotilla,
We clarified
the
that.
flotilla is where Poseidon Energy is.
Okay.
Yeah, it was underneath. It was my confusion that caused that issue.
Yeah.
Yeah, and my apologies for the thing with like kind of shredding water there.
No. I wasn't trying to say like let's speed it up, like I'm bored or anything. I was just trying to say I think like you and the Crab are on the same page. It's just like there was a disconnect. But after
Yeah.
the whole little interaction there, it makes a lot more sense because like Dredger didn't want to do it.
Dredger's morality is a thing that I kind of made. I feel like I made him his interpersonal relations or ideas a little more complicated than I should have. Should probably tighten him up a bit.
Happens.
I like the dichotomy of it. I think it's interesting. Now that I understand it, it's a lot more interesting and it makes more sense.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So
Oh, what's Omega doing during all this?
He was out raiding last time. I was gonna chime in, but I didn't want to interrupt that other thing. When Chris went to play video games, at like on the one side of the room was like the Excalibur TV setup with like all the systems,
Mm-hmm.
but on the other side of the room is like the wolf den with all the cave-in stuff, and there's just a bunch of wolves hanging out. I think Omega is either out or he's taking a nap in there because like he hasn't really decided what he wants to do again yet.
All right.
So it depends on if he's back from that raid already, Sam.
he is back now. Yeah. Oh, by the way, all of your wolves. Do you want your wolves to have 6 extra tough?
Does that help them?
You can
Because
decide
don't they
later.
they explode on death, so I don't want to make it hard to kill them per se.
No worries. We can figure it out later. But yeah. So Omega.
The Scourgeon.
What's up?
I just had a really horrible thing to say.
Yeah.
The Scourgeons can give the wolves emotion, so they're scared when they explode.
Jesus fuck.
That's
All right.
funny. It's also it chimes into the horrifying aspect of it because it's technically a horrifying ability. That's kind of funny.
I don't
I
want
need-
to die.
Can, like,
If we do that, can it be more horrifying?
We can give it dramatic.
Yeah.
I have an idea how to make one of them very horrifying. Can there be a runt of the litter?
That's Fluffy. We don't do anything bad to Fluffy.
Yeah, you don't
Anybody
fuck with
touches
Fluffy.
Fluffy,
I
Omega
remember
literally-
Fluffy.
If
Can there
anything
be-
happens to Fluffy, Alpha from the old game flipped out. I can't even imagine what Omega would do to somebody that hurt Fluffy in this setting.
Fair.
Like,
Well,
it
what
would
I'm-
be heinous.
Since the
Like, if you
wolves
think the
explode...
waterlogged art is bad, Omega would show you a new universe of bad.
Oh, shit.
And you'd probably get the crab to help make it worse.
So,
Since
what
the
are we
wolves
gonna do?
explode,
So
I want one of the wolves to
Can
look
we,
like
can
a...
we skip this part?
Shit, sorry. Yeah, sorry, I'll say it later.
Okay, so Poseidon Energy ferryman comes in, offers you guys the dossier request a while ago. Poseidon Energy is one of the main things Mammon Gray wants out of the flotilla. It's an old R&D house. It was pretty important. It's where the flotilla was getting most of its good scrap. Now, the issue is, since the raid happened, it's overrun with remnants of the crack shots, automated security, and Iron Legion. It's an all-out war down there. We need someone to clear it out, and more importantly, there are projects down there that might be helpful. Tech that, while not workable in the flooded district, Gear Boys or Mammon might be able to make use of. And since Mammon Gray technically owns the flotilla, he owns Poseidon Energy by extension. He just wants you guys to go in, clear it out, grab the stuff.
Should we bring a gear boy with us for identification?
None of the Gear Boys want to go into an active war zone. They're not made for fighting.
Gallant chimes in and says, "We can use that fancy ray gun when we're done."
Oh, yeah, by the way, they have one raid.
I don't know why I nodded in real life at that.
Not Sam. That wasn't in the radiation gun. That was to the tunnel worm thing.
Oh, shit, right.
Because he thinks it's a space gun that like teleports you when you press the trigger.
It's a shame they explode, though. They've all spent too long at the bottom of that lake.
You can use them, like, once a scene. You just can't use them twice in a row, otherwise they explode.
So basically, in order to teleport anywhere and then back to base, you just need to have 2. And then you don't ever have to spend more points as long as you sequentially use the 2 and then let them rest until next session, quote
Correct.
unquote.
Okay. But, yeah, you guys are super close to the flotilla if you're at the power plant. It's within one dredger teleport.
All right.
Alright. So as you guys roll up, you see the lesser waterlogged, the converts of the town's citizens. Like waterlogged, but without any of the cool abilities, just slaved to Mammon's will as they're taking salvage. The town looks horrifically restructured. Those miniature forges they had have now been built into massive black towers. The sky's completely fogged up with smog and burnt ash. As the lesser waterlogged lead you, they get what appears to be the body of a man strung up on a rack, and they insert a nail into his spine. Tom Dredger would recognize him as Salazar, the former head of the militia.
Oh, dang.
He is temporarily brought back to life. You see cracks of electricity as he screams. going. So, Poseidon Energy is down this building here. It's the main excavation shaft. Is there anything you want to know before going in?
Treasure will look him up and down and ask, what sort of security will we run into?
I don't know what's been disabled yet, but the crack shots last time we went down uncovered an alcove of, like, automated ray guns, Gatling lasers. He'll turn a man to ash in less than a second, but they require thermals to track properly. If you can find an employee ID badge, the automated security on the first level will ignore you. Anything further down, we hit bulkheads we couldn't cleave through.
Treasure will turn to the others in the party and ask, have you anything you wish to ask this man?
No, sort of new here, so let's just do this.
Gallant turns to the guy and just goes, hypothetically, if you had to pick 5 of the most prevalent dangers, like, for instance, types of things that could hurt you, so like poison or fire, like what would you list as like the top 5? Asking for a
He's
friend.
gonna stare in the distance, go, I remember I have a son. I don't remember his face. As they just rip out the nail. It looks like they can't keep him alive too long with it before he starts remembering shit.
I hope that Gallant asking him that question means that instead of going to talk show Carrie Ling hell, he'll now go to some kind of cracked article writing hell. Top 5 list forever,
We
baby.
could really fuck with that guy by me like looking like his son. We gotta
Oh,
find out
God.
what his son looks like.
Also, as a quick aside for Chris, because he's kind of new, all of the horrible, heinous shit that you say gets converted to like good guy talk for Gallant, like in character.
Oh, nice.
So, like, if you say to do something absolutely horrid to something or somebody, if it's
Turns
some of the
into
creatures
this
just get
thing.
turned into like automaton-looking things, so you'll watch Gallant eviscerate things, but he'll think he's destroying a bunch of robots. And anything horrible you say about people that didn't get converted into robots becomes something nice, like a eulogy type thing.
Like, instead
Yeah,
of...
Gallant-
You
It's like-
probably heard like I should turn into his son so that like he can remember what his son looks like.
Yeah, or like, oh, it's a shame that his time has passed. Now I could have given him a moment to remember his son's face.
What did Gallant see?
Gallant will immediately turn to you and go, "That's a nice thought."
Oh,
Actually, how is Gallant experiencing all of the waterlogged? Is this like Pirate City for him?
He sees them all as like pirates, and I like to think that when he showed up, he's like, "Oh, so this is where those other guys came from. This makes sense now." There's like a
Pirate
whole
town.
town of those guys. They must all be mute or something. Is that what mutant means?
Ooh.
This man figuring out life on one mind.
beautiful.
He's not
Gallant's
to.
lawful
He's not a
good.
complete idiot. He just doesn't understand a lot of words.
He's lawful good, but the Overkin doesn't sleep.
You can have zero mind, right?
You can't...
No.
No, not really. Not as a PC.
That's the only one you're not allowed to zero out.
You can have it as an NPC, but that's complicated and no. So, as you guys get to the freight elevator, is there any last minute prep you want to do?
I can possess objects, so if we want to like hide my heat signature, I can just possess something you're carrying.
Treasure has that whalebone knife that the waterlock gave him.
It's not sanctified,
whalebone,
right?
Just bone.
Oh, that's okay. I thought that was a significantly more wild gift for the waterlock to hand me.
No, it's just a bone.
Anything going on with this knife, by the way?
No, it's just the waterlogged make them sometimes.
Neat.
I will possess his knife.
All right, you see a flash of green as Quake teleports into the knife. Um, I guess it starts like floating and glowing, but immediately turns back into his just a normal.
I can move it. Yeah, I can move it.
Oh, do a little fluttery knife kick.
Yeah. Well, I can like you can like toss it. I'll make it spin a lot more, and then make sure that you catch it correctly.
Sick.
So it looks cool.
Hell yeah.
All right. So as you guys,
I like to think Gallows like heard Quake say, "I gotta go," and then just fucking disappears.
Hold up a peace sign and you phase out.
So this is also like Gallant also because he's like the tank / bodyguard. As soon as we're all like ready to go in, Gallant goes, "Allow me to go first, gentlemen, lady." And then immediately there's just an indent where he was standing as he sprints like a couple 100 feet in front to like make sure everything is safe over there.
so you get lit up with like laser cannons. It appears the damp doesn't quite make it down this far, or at least the area was sealed enough that it was able to preserve some of the technology. However, the lasers on the Gatling guns, I don't think are physically capable of hurting Gallant. They don't have enough
Not
penetration.
touches. Also,
that's-
I keep instead of heat and pressure, I keep the unmatched power of the sun because it takes one slot. So now I feel like I'm pretty good.
That's a good point, actually. How damp is it down here?
Actually, as soon as you enter the first level, it's like barely damp. It's like almost civilized levels. You feel like as you go down deeper, you're gonna hit 0.
Okay, Dredger's gonna ask Gallant if he can come back for a moment and do him a little favor.
Yeah, you guys all have tube worms on you.
I mean, you could ask me too. I mean, I might be able to help.
Do you have a healing factor?
I do.
Okay, then Dredger will ask...
Sent you my power.
I forgot. I'm sorry. Dredger will ask Quake then for a small favor.
Sure. What do you need?
Dredger will take out a alarming little statue of a contorted man with a horse's head. It's just constantly gurgling and choking and gagging. It's making awful noises and ask, can you blow...
I wish I was Gallon in this exact moment.
Gallant turns from down the hall. Did you guys say something? Did you mean me come back? And then he runs back, gets shot up again. He's like, by the way, there's lasers in that hallway.
What does Gallant see this awful little object as? This little
Probably
statue?
a dancing robot, right?
It is literally like a bubble blower. Like those little kitty bubble blower things. He sees it as a bubble blower, and every time Dredger asks him to blow it, it just fills his vision. Like mist to him just looks like bubbles.
Yeah, Dredger's gonna ask one of you, can one of you blow into the mouth of this statuette?
I'll let Gallon do it because it's kind of weird.
Gallant takes it. He's like, "Ooh, another bubble blower. I don't know what your obsession is with bubbles, Mr. Dredger, but this sure is fun for me."
So
And then he blows into it.
what you see, Quake, is there is a sudden sound of like crashing waves. It shoots a gout of green flame as the eyes light up. You hear like the crashing of hooves and of water. And then after about a minute of that, it suddenly goes dead silent. You can't tell it's doing anything anymore. It's not gurgling. It's quiet. And the area around it is damp.
So you did all that to make this place wet?
Does Quake know what the damp is?
No. Quake is from Market Street.
Okay,
You don't need to explain it. Whatever you did, whatever. Let's get going.
Hang on, let me go
I'm guessing
start.
you
I
have
walk
dry skin.
slower through the turrets this time and start like trying to. I moved them so they can't shoot at everybody as we walk by.
Yeah, so these were made to disintegrate like normal people. that's what their power is at. So you can just walk up, put a hand on it, rip them out of the wall. You don't even need a roll.
Oh man,
I've
I was
seen
just
your
gonna
spear.
possess.
You cannot fail this roll.
I was gonna possess one and just start shooting all the other turrets.
Hell yeah.
The spear sounds really
Yeah,
cool. The
Absolutely.
spear sounds cooler.
It gets so much cooler.
Gallant rules.
All right, Gallant, do you want to describe what it looks like when you take down a turret?
I mean, right now, I don't even think he's using the spear. I think he's just pushing. Like, he walks up to the turrets and with a surprising amount of finesse, just rips just the top off of them and then lays it down in one smooth motion right next to the turret base.
Yeah.
For like each one, and it all happens in like one-ish round, give or take.
Easier than opening a can of tuna.
Like, he just removes the turrets from their base, and then he goes, all right, I think, how many were there? 1, 2, 3, 4. Was there only 4?
Yeah. You just, like a flash, you see him reappear briefly next to each turret. Each one's disabled.
Sick.
Yeah, just fast enough to be impossible to see unless you have hyper coordination, just slow enough where I can't do after image stuff, sadly.
So you're not reverse flash fast.
But it's still pretty cool.
So as you guys keep going down, this looks like the first level. It's mostly admin. You're not seeing too many projects. There is one special project on this level. It's labeled on the maps you guys see. It's the Matter Replicator.
We also need to get the. It's admin, so we need to get the badges.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys need badges to walk around?
Yeah, I mean, it's the polite thing to do.
No. Wait. You're right. We should probably follow the rules even though nobody's here.
All right. So
That's what makes us good guys.
fuck. Okay.
I have a feeling Quake is going to be a valuable addition to the making
yeah.
Gallon feel like a good person.
Dredger like walks up next to Quake, just kind of claps a hand or another shoulder and says, "We can't lie. We really physically cannot lie. Thank you so much."
I am gonna see how good your perception is, and I'm gonna say I'm a 500-pound platypus and use my use my 5 hard dice and lie.
All right, Tom, roll a scrutiny.
Wait, scrutiny or perception?
Scrutiny is to detect a lie. It's scrutiny.
Yeah, so it's just 5
Okay.
tens. I rolled the extra charm.
Let's see if I can get there. Oh, I also got 5.
You're not sure.
He could be a platypus.
Wait, it just ties?
I have endless and subtle on it.
Technically speaking, it goes to the defender here.
But he has endless though, so do I have endless? No.
You have endless scrutiny.
So it's like,
I have permanent perception, but not.
It's like, that's
You get him
stupid.
fucked over
Oh,
by
wait,
having
that
it-
does make sense.
I
It's
keep
like-
getting
it's like, no,
screwed
that's
over by it not
fucking
being
dumb.
permanent.
but then you look at it and go, wait, dumber shit has happened to me today.
It's true. It's very
Gallon
true.
is a human being on this planet. Hang on.
Okay, so let me go over some rolls you can have here. You can do perception to try and find a key card. You can roll security systems, which is under mind, to try and hack one of the computers that still work and try and print a key card. Or what's up?
I was gonna say I'll do a perception because I have hard dice and perception.
I have hidden sorrows roll security systems.
All right, roll security systems. Let me know what that roll is. Chris, how many hard dice do you have in perception?
I have 3, but I rolled the 2 cents, and so I got 4 tens.
That's great. So most of the security badges are like physical things, like clunky things that look like they have a scan bar, an insert thing. It looks like there's an actual amount of electronics to them. Most of them are fucking smashed
Wait,
up.
they didn't use an RFID?
No.
Huh.
This actually has mechanical components to it.
Okay.
So as you only find one that isn't horrifically either smashed or rotted by the mild amount of damp up here. It also looks like, maybe the flotilla has picked this specific area over pretty much already. It looks like it was thrown about during the fight, but there's very little of value left here.
I'm gonna possess it and float it over to Dredger, since he's in charge.
Hidden Sorrows also, as Dredger grabs it, Hidden Sorrows got 2 10s on security systems.
Okay, that's not enough to make a badge on its own, because there's like a security thing you have to encode the badge. But you get the schematic for the badge and a security token. So if you can find like a 3D printer or something, you can make that badge. But most of the 3D printers, those are valuable. Those have been picked over by the flotilla a while ago. The only thing the only part of the floor you guys haven't gotten to is the matter replicator section, which is sealed off by a vault bulkhead.
I mean, convenient though. Can Hidden Sorrows having this information and not really being able to share it with anybody, can he try to open the bulkhead from here?
The bulkhead, it looks like you look at the security screen, it has a fucking spear thrown through it.
All right.
Nailed it.
You can still try it, but you're going to be working without a screen. It's going to be an incredibly difficult check. Because you basically have to reach into the wires.
I'm gonna be right back.
Gallant
Hidden-
is just casually looking around for like a badge, and then he finds like a visitor sticker, and he just slaps that on his chest.
Hell yeah. Hidden Sorrows believes in himself. And he's going to try again. Holy shit, he got another 2 10s.
You get a little spark. You hear the computer whir to life a little bit. There's a port where it opens a port for the security badge, but you don't have one. The only Quake has a security badge right now.
Didn't Quake float it over to Dredger?
Yeah, you can try and insert it though. I mean, if you want to.
So, coming down the tube worm, everyone will hear, "Oh, dang! I'm in." And
What the fuck?
Sorry, there was static on the lines. Just like Gallant's like, who's this deep-voiced guy on our tube worm?
Are we?
Dredger will ask again, do you remember the Hidden Sorrows?
Is that the name of a book you wanted me to read?
Wow, that actually hurt me in real life. Shit. Damn. Thank you, Alex. Holy fuck.
I'm back.
I don't think Gallant has successfully interacted with Hidden Sorrows one time.
Does the Overkin let him know he's there?
Probably not.
Okay, that's, you
Does
know
not.
what?
He, in the Overkin's opinion, it has not. It being Hidden Sorrows has not done anything worthy enough to warrant its existence being justified in Gallant's head.
Yeah, you know what? That's fair. Like, Hidden Sorrows is basically just a meme character. I said it. It's why his life is so fucked.
But yeah,
Soros-
Dredger can float over the security badge.
Yeah, Dredger will hand the security, or will walk over and put it into the slot that he just saw open.
All right.
Note that he doesn't react with Hidden Sorrows.
The computer whirs for a second. You see the front of the bulkhead lift. There is now a second, smaller bulkhead with another computer. It opens a port for the security badge.
Is this Gallant? Is this like in the same room?
Yes.
Okay, so Gallant is kind of like watching. He's like, "Is this gonna take long? How many? Is this like one of those Russian egg things?"
Now you guys You guys don't have a second security badge. The first one is in the first computer. If you remove the first security badge, the first bulkhead closes.
All right, here's the new plan. Gallant goes over, takes the badge, and puts it back into the first computer, and then he walks over to the other bulkhead.
Okay.
He makes like a big show about like doing some stretches, and then he pulls his spear out and stabs the door as hard as he can.
I'll need a roll. Is it 10 tens?
Yeah, it's going to be 10 tens every time. Unless tens are bad, and then it can be 10 nines. If 10 nines is bad, it can be 10 fives. It can be whatever you want it to be, Sam. It's 10 of that whatever number you
flick
choose.
out your hand, the spear weaves itself out, you jab it directly into the center of the bulkhead. You hear the grinding of gears, the whirring of pneumatics as pressure just shatters the frame. Gallant puts both his hands on the round corner of the bulkhead and just rips it out of the wall and throws the multi-ton construct across the admin building.
Ta-da!
Having the time of my life.
Do I see anything cool inside of the vault?
You just see, it looks like a giant 3D printer almost. Like an actual, no, okay, it's like a box, where a 3D printer is inside of it, and there's a little computer on its side.
God damn it, more nerd stuff.
You see a little tray where you can put things on it, and it's labeled scanner.
I take out a Pop-Tart that I had found. With the Pop-Tart in it.
Alright, you put the Pop-Tart on the scanner.
It's strawberry flavored.
Cool. That adds a penalty dice. Alright, so you're going to hit the start button. It's going to scan it. You guys see like a little green glow. A little barcode reader goes down it. You see the computer thing pop up. Full mass spectrometer reading. The printer, you hear a deep, bassy whir as a Pop-Tart just slides out on the conveyor belt.
Now, is this like a
Guys, it's a Pop-Tart creating machine.
is this like a teleport bread situation, or is it a normal Pop Tart?
It seems to just be a normal Pop-Tart. It's also still printing them. We're up to about 6 Pop-Tarts now.
Gallant's gonna pause here for about 30 seconds and then go, I think I just solved world hunger, guys.
JJ will hand you a burlap sack.
We're definitely going to use this to solve world hunger.
Okay, we are now up to 30 Pop-Tarts.
Delicious Pop-Tarts. Gallant's just gonna start eating them. all of them until they stop or somebody removes the Pop-Tart.
Is the rate increasing?
I'm going to need Hidden Sorrows to roll a security systems check.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Ooh, no matches.
You're noticing some errors pop up on the security screen, but you know, you don't really you don't know Cobalt, so you don't know what any.
Oh. How?
Oh shit, I have 10 hard dice in Cobalt.
No, you fucking don't. I've seen you, piece of shit.
That's crazy.
How do you even write a management program in COBOL?
Beside an energy staff where the Gear Boys of their days, they're fucking insane. You hear the printer conk out like a deep kunk as it you see it prints out just a cube of Pop-Tarts, 5 foot by 5 foot by about 10 feet long, as it just shuts down.
Gallon, you should definitely eat that.
God, this is the biggest Pop-Tart in the whole world. Gallant proceeds to eat it, and it's not like a pleasant eat. Like in Gallant's mind, he took a couple bites of it and ate it like a human.
Mm-hmm.
What you guys witness is the Overkind just like the spear shape appears for a moment, and then it just like develops a mouth, but like more like mandibles, like a bug, and just chomps through all of that Pop-Tart and absorbs it.
I need you to. I have an image for what I'm imagining.
I'm just picturing Pac-Man.
Yeah.
Oh God!
Yeah, it's essentially it. It just
Awful.
Why is it all bit rotted? What the fuck?
it like wraps around it fully, and then in a split second, everything just contracts back into the
Beautiful.
normal spear shape, and it's gone.
Beautiful.
Oh God.
And then you just hear Gallon go, "Oh my god, that tastes so good. It was like 70% strawberry filling."
It was. You guys see the 3D printer portion restart? It's asking for a object to be scanned again.
Is my
Badge.
Pop-Tart still there?
Let's do the
Pop-Tart's still
badge.
there, but it hasn't started yet.
I'm gonna take my Pop-Tart out and put it back in my pocket for later.
All right. You scan the badge. Like before, it's just printing badges. All right, I'm going to need a security systems check. We're up to 4 badges.
Can
Okay.
No, I have no training in security systems. That makes no sense.
Roll 5d10. 3-3.
All right, you've kind of figured it out. So, this thing basically works by drawing power from a lab down below. It used to be regulated by everything in the entire facility drawing power from that one thing. Right now, it looks like it's mostly just the security systems and this. So, as it runs, power is going to keep ramping up to this thing until it shorts out, which is what you saw before. It tried to print as much stuff as possible to vent the energy. And
It's just too many key cards. Can you make it stop?
For
That was
security reasons, it doesn't want to stop making things because it's worried the system will go critical.
Gallant starts picking up a couple of the security cards and starts looking for like a trash can. He's like, "This is literally just garbage at this
All
point."
right, we are up to 260 key cards.
Okay,
They are now ankle
we
deep.
should just leave. You guys should get out of here. You're gonna drown.
Well, let's just take the. Can we take the thing with us?
You
The
can
3D
take
printer?
the 3D printer weighs several tons, and it would be difficult to move around safely.
Okay.
You can
So now,
once you clear this area out, you can always come back for it
got
with
it.
like Gear Boy support once it's safe.
All right.
You do probably want to find a way to stop this, though. Otherwise, it is going to flood the entire admin level with keycards.
Try to take the key card out of the scanning place.
Okay, you take the scan. It comes right out of the scanner just fine. However, the schematic is already on the printer, so it's going to keep going.
Providing silence or whatever. Can you can you
Hiding
fix this?
silence. New bit. Everybody just says Hidden Sorrow's name wrong for the rest of life.
Oh,
Quiet man, help.
We're reaching bully tech that shouldn't even be possible.
Rupert's
Hello.
sad quiet.
I mean, it's Quake. I mean, I think every interaction she had in the original game, she insulted the person.
It's
I think-
perfect.
I think Chernoff was the only one that respected it.
Okay. So, you can roll security systems, but it's going to be a difficult check. You could also try and look.
Take your time. Take your time. Get an extra
yeah.
die.
You can do that twice. It's going to make a shit ton of key cards if you do that, though.
I'll check my time once.
All right, we're up to 600 key cards.
Can I help even though I'm not trained?
We're going to say you can try and like bail out key cards and give them a clear working space.
Okay.
I'll
tell Gallon to start bailing out key cards.
All right, that's
I
two
got-
dice.
2 8s.
Okay.
Oh wait, sorry. How many extra dice am I rolling?
2 extra dice. Or
Three.
Three, sorry.
All right, let me reroll them. Okay, now it's 3-7.
Lucky number 7. All right. You've got an idea for something to try. If you just clear all the schematics, it's not going to print anything anymore, right?
Probably.
So you just go to the folder, clear all schematics, right? Is that something you want to do?
That seems like a mistake because, like, Hidden Sorrows is like smart, but not that smart. She's gonna delete Apache or something, and it's gonna be a huge fucking problem for everybody. Actually, no. You know what? Yeah, Hidden Sorrows will try to do that on the assumption that if he fucks it up, the Gear Boys can fix it.
Okay. You delete all saved schematics. And the 3D printer stops printing keycards. It's gonna think for a second. It's gonna glow green for a second, shake,
Wait, shit.
and then
Fuck.
it's gonna print a smaller 3D printer after scanning itself. And that
Okay.
3D printer is now printing a smaller 3D printer, which is now printing a smaller 3D printer.
Okay, Gallant is going to smash all the little ones as they come out.
This is a different problem from the one I just thought of. Fuck.
Is it,
In between
can I use my
matching
perception to
those.
look for like a plug?
Yeah.
Oh, that's... God, why didn't we think of that? Fuck.
Gallant is not a
Damn,
smart
Sam.
man.
4
I
tens.
can't provide help with any of this.
410, Sam.
You notice it looks like this thing is built into the floor, so if you just dig your way into the floor, you might be able to find like a power conduit.
Is there a power button on the computer that controls it?
No. It looks like it's all software.
When...
There's no shutdown for this?
Poseidon Energy was not known for its safety policy.
Gallant is going to just grab the
dig
base of the
here.
machine and just start pulling.
When Hidden Sorrows deleted all schematics, did he delete any that were already saved there?
Yes.
Fuck, I only thought about that after I said I was gonna do it. God damn it.
I was about to tell you no, but then I was like, I've metagamed a lot tonight. We're gonna stop.
Oh, I
Wait,
thought about it like...
I will use my dagger to stab into the ground and try to cut the power cable.
How much penetration do you have on that, by the way?
It's non-physical.
Never mind. Okay, so you full-on ghost dagger. You go through the floor. You feel several wires cutting as the power to the printer cuts, which seems to cut power to all the smaller printers as well. You now have several 3D printers you can just take with you if you want.
Yeah, let's take one with us.
Hit it on the way out.
Yeah.
I mean, we have a character with an inventory space.
Wait,
Do
what?
we have another puppet hole?
Yes.
You say that so upset.
This time, though, let me see what Hidden Sorrow's capacity is.
Oh no! It's literally
It is
a
worse
prison
than that.
pocket. It's a prison pocket. No.
No, it doesn't work that way. Hidden Sorrows can swallow up to 1,000 pounds of material.
It's even
Remember
worse.
the picture of Ed. Hidden Sorrows is pulling an Ed.
Why is this everyone in the party?
Why Dredger actually grabbed Hidden Sorrows?
Literally.
He's got that glug glug game.
He's the greasy gulping king.
While some of these printers start disappearing, Gallant is just gonna like do his best to scrap most of the smaller ones, except for like the second biggest one, and then one of the little, like the 2 or 3 steps down from that.
Okay.
And
I
then
have
he's
an
just gonna try to push all of the junk to like one side of the room to make it easier for him later to like grab this stuff.
I have a way we could better control the main one and maybe even get the deleted schematics back, but I don't know if it's a good time to waste it.
Let's just keep pushing through this. I think if we delay,
Okay.
I'm sure we can find cooler stuff to print than whatever
Yeah.
was in there.
I'm also feeling like the Gear Boys can probably get those deleted schematics back, right?
You have no idea.
I mean,
There's a recycle bin on my computer at home.
yeah, like
Yeah, your
and
computer
even,
club's not programmed in fucking Cobalt. Let's go.
yeah, and even like if something gets deleted from the recycle bin, if you can still get that back usually.
Okay.
Kind of a pain in the ass, but you can do it.
Anywho, Gallant after clearing the room gets very bored and then starts walking out of the room.
So that gets us to another elevator. It requires 3 key cards, which you guys have.
Yeah, we have like a
Wait.
burlap sack full of Pop-Tarts and key cards, right?
Are all the key cards the same, or is it going to read the 3 identical key cards?
They're all the
as
same,
one?
but like I said, they have a mechanical component to them, which is what it's checking.
Okay. I was just curious if it was like it needs to be separate mechanical components.
How big is a key
So
card?
high tech, it does a mechanical component.
Think of like an NES cartridge, but there's a fucking Swiss watch in there in the middle for some reason.
Sick. Wait, are they actually that big?
Yes.
I have a very powerful question.
What's up?
It's not a good question, but it's a powerful question.
Hit me with it.
What happens if you put a Pop-Tart into the key card slot? Because we got a bunch of those too.
Do you want to try putting a Pop-Tart into the key card?
Let's not do that. Let's not.
Actually, nobody but Gallant has a Pop-Tart because Gallant ate all the other Pop-Tarts.
Yeah, like how many? I did the math on the 5x5x10 one. That was about 1.2 million calories. How many others do you have?
I ate everything but the original Pop-Tart. He saved that one for later.
Yeah, the Pop-Tart.
Anywho, Gallant's gonna go into his bag of key cards that he has and just grabs 3 and puts them into the machine. Ironically, you don't see him upset at all about eating all that food, even though, like, logically, any human being who did that would die.
Man has a metabolism like a nuclear reactor.
Yeah,
I
it's
see.
horrifying.
Because
My
he's been in
wife's-
one for a while.
My wife's stomach.
So you guys hit the freight elevator. It goes down. It opens up into an open air area, and you notice 3 Goliath units tearing into a fucking monster made out of metal and meat and electronics. They fucking smash it. And Alex, I know you fought a Goliath unit before. This isn't the small one. This is the full size Goliath unit. It's about size, and it's like 1.5 times the size of the ones you fought. And there's 3 of them this time.
Interesting.
Quake sees these massive diving bell power armors punching this fucking monster hard enough that the air around it just explodes. You also guys notice these Goliaths look a little bit sickly. Like the pressure valves where the diving gear merges in, you just see meat and like ichor that isn't human color coming out as they have like these wheezing, hacking coughs.
Wait, were these too close to the waterlogged event?
Possibly.
Dredger would know that. Can I roll to see if they're waterlogged or
Yeah,
partially waterlogged?
Yeah, go for it. Perception or scrutiny, whatever one works for you.
Okay, perception is I actually have a lot of perception. Okay. I'm gonna get 6 10s on that.
You are certain these are not waterlogged. Waterlogged don't get sick like these things are.
Alright.
And whatever the hell that meat monster thing was, that also definitely didn't look like a waterlogged. That looked like a machine with actual cancer.
Oh, are the Goliaths like targeting us?
They don't seem to be aware. They're just kind of wandering off. It appears as if whatever's happened has dampened their senses. But, you know, as long as you don't alert them, they're not going to, like, do anything to you guys.
I mean, I could try to disable them like I have previous times in Evil Squad.
I mean, we could all each take one, right?
Actually, Dredger
I don't-
probably could fight a Goliath. Well, no, it's made of cold iron, no.
No, these
Guys-
ones aren't Cold
guys-
Iron. These are the older models that were in the flotilla.
If you
Oh,
guys
then
want my humble out of character opinion, I don't think either of you can solo a bigger Goliath, because the other Goliath would have killed me if I didn't have permanent regen.
I have permanent regen.
As does Dredger with his fog caveat.
I mean,
Even if you die though, like dead,
oh no, I
like
don't have.
I literally died. It killed me, but I have
Yeah.
I come back to life and heal.
If something doesn't die from my one-shot ability, I will be very surprised.
I could try to trick them again by using an Iron Legion leader's voice.
I mean, I could probably do that too. Well, I don't know any Iron Legion.
I don't think that's gonna work because I don't think they're Iron Legion anymore. I think they're like zombie infected.
Do you want to take one at a time then?
We can fight them if you want. I'll do whatever. I'm the
I'm
The tank of
sneaky,
this
so I can
group
sneak
is
through
gorgeous.
this, but like I don't know
I'm
how.
just curious. What was our objective again? We have to kill everything, right?
Yeah, we
So-
have to kill everything
You have to
anyway.
make it safe. Now that doesn't
No.
necessarily mean you have to kill everything right now. Like the 3D, like the 3D printer,
Yeah.
there may be a non-obvious solution to this.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like can we check out that thing without alerting them first? Whatever they were beating up, maybe just to see if there's a clue to why they were
They
beating it up.
have wandered off by the time the elevator gets down and opens up.
Okay, so let's look at it.
Yeah, it's massive
I
robo-cancer.
will roll perception.
Okay,
310.
So,
310s.
what you're looking at here is actually a massive plumbing. It's a water cooler, it's pipes, and a computer. As you open up the computer, it's silicon that transitions into what looks like neural tissue. It looks like the water cooler or water heater. On its surface is just a normal water heater, but as you pop the top, it looks like it's like pressure regulation valve and all that stuff has been converted into a heart sort of thing.
Does it look like this was done on purpose, or?
It's way too messy to be done on purpose. Maybe the original cause was done on purpose, but whatever this is, this is an amalgamation of several items that just look like they fell into each other.
Can I have Dredger take this computer monitor?
As you grab it, it squishes because it is no longer plastic and Bakelite. It is now just like eye tissue.
Is there a keyboard that can be interacted with, or otherwise, like the idea that this has some kind of acoustic sensor?
You see a mouth where the keyboards are teeth, like the keys.
All right, Dredger will take his hands off of the monitor and say, "Our apologies. We are the Dredger. Who are you?"
It appears to be dead as far as you're aware. Like the Goliaths have, like the parts you're seeing are just the parts that haven't been absolutely liquefied by the power armor beating on it.
As Gallon approaches the apparently fresh meat, I feel like Overkin is just gonna start eating.
Okay, what happens when the Overkin eats something toxic to it?
It would just take damage until it develops the immunity through Gallant, essentially.
Okay. You receive immunity to the machine plague.
Nice. I don't know what that is. So you watch as Gallant walks over and, for whatever reason, leans forward and starts to subsume, is the best word,
Is
the computer corpse.
is this some Mechane stuff, Sam?
You don't know.
Okay.
It appears, looking at it, there are 4 bridges here and a third elevator going down one more level. You see one path which leads to a place overgrown with meat labeled biomechanics. You see one path labeled singularity research.
Ooh.
You see one path labeled chronomechanics. And the fourth wing, sorry, where is it in my fucking notes? The fourth wing is just like storage. I don't think that one was a project.
We gotta go to storage.
Yeah, I was thinking let's start at storage and regroup there. Though, can Dredger... This thing was this giant pile of flesh magical?
In no way, shape, or form, no.
Either way, Dredger would like to take a small cutting of the flesh of it and place it in a bag next to the pocket he keeps the compliant key in hopes that the compliant key will develop a new section about this location.
Okay, you take a cutting of the machine plague meat. Yeah, sure.
You know, now that you say it out loud, it sounds like a bad idea.
No! Just
You
carry
see-
around some rotting meat, dude. There's
You
something
see
wrong with
Gallant
that.
like kind of coughing in the corner. He's like, dude, I don't know what they left on that buffet table, but it was not great.
Dredger will see that and
I feel a lot better now, but it was a minute there where I thought I was gonna yak.
Dredger will remove the thing and like just take the entire bag out of his pocket and drop it. Doesn't even try to pick it back up. It's a good thing Dredger has some native endurance because this would be bad otherwise.
I'm gonna turn into an object on Dredger so I don't have to worry about it.
All right.
You can move into the scary totem.
So.
No, I'm good. You have a wooden knife, that's fine.
We're doing storage first, right?
Yeah.
Okay. You guys roll up. This is a war zone. This is where most of the fighting took place. It looks like you see Iron Legion members impaled on spikes. You see crack shots, literally torn limb from limb. As you get further and farther back, it looks like this area was cleared out. You see automated security drones, like decent security drones, like full on like robotic, like walking tanks, torn apart by the Mark 3s and 4s. Looks like the Goliaths were the only ones who survived because they're Goliaths. They're nothing but health.
So they're injured.
So they didn't look injured when you saw them. You're not sure if that's because their armor was thick enough to not care, or if the machine plague has done something to them.
Looking at everything around here and how bad it is, Dredger will open the compliant key and attempt to find some information about the machine plague.
So it looks like the machine plague isn't really present here. It looks like that was coming from biomechanics.
That tracks. Does the book have anything specific about what the machine plague is?
It has no idea. That's not. It looks like that's not a known thing.
Okay.
I will say you guys have pretty good perception. You guys do find a survivor as you hear the thudding of like metal on meat, as you see a guy wearing crack shot armor with like the bare exo frame of a Mark II mounted to it, just beating looks like there was actually a Mark 7 down here. Its faceplate was cracked off, and you just see this guy driving a fist into the guy's skull before falling down, breathing heavily, and cupping his face in his hands.
A human is beating up like a huge mech suit.
Mark 7s are person-sized, but they are very scary.
Interesting. Making a mental note to steal that.
Now,
Is it a
I have-
person crying?
It looks like he's just very tired.
Okay, Gallant is, if it's a person, like it looks like a human being.
Yeah, he's
nothing
he's
wrong
just
with
a
him.
guy. Yeah.
Gallant is gonna walk up and go, "Well, hey there, bud. What's going on?"
All right, fucking one more again. We doing this?
Doing what per se, feller? I'm just trying to say hello.
He
You
actually
seem
looks
like
up and goes, "You're not Legion. You're not Crackshot either. Who are you people?"
I would like to point out that I was trying to introduce myself, and you've interrupted me twice now, which is quite rude. My name is Gallant. We're here on. Honestly, I forget the guy's name. I'm not the smartest. Long story short, we're here to clear out anything that's considered dangerous to make this place safe again for the workers. Do you work here?
What, like the Poseidon Energy workers? What the fuck are you talking about?
I'm gonna like, yeah, the Poseidon Energy workers.
We got hired to come down here because somebody told us that things were not looking so good. Didn't give us any more description besides there's some nasty stuff down here that needs to go bye-byes. And
He's
I'm a
looking
bye-byer.
horrifically confused.
What's your name, friend? A Gallant sticks his hand out for a handshake.
He gently places his hand on your wrist and just lowers it. Going, name's Santiago.
Well, nice to meet you, Santiago. I'm
Hey,
Gallant.
don't we know who Santiago is from Hub Squad? That name sounds very familiar.
It probably does sound familiar, but
I don't know who Santiago at all because sorry.
Mhm.
he's not
Sorry for
that
cutting you
that
off.
you would recognize him offhand.
If he uses like an actual name, Gallant follows up. My name's Gallant. My friends call me Kevin. Nice to meet you. Can I ask what you're doing here?
I was part of the militia group down here. When people started turning up top, we got down here because the shielding here keeps out most anything. We figured it was our best shot, but the Legion had the same idea. So when everything started changing, we just worked our way down here. People scattered to the four wings. This one was the safest, and look where that got us.
Like, as he says, look where that got us, I just kind of like lean to his right, or his left, I guess, and look at the robot corpse guy on the ground, and I'm just like, well, if you're beating up those guys, I'd say, at least I'd wager to say we're relatively on the same team. So, you look pretty beat up. Would you like some like assistance or something?
I
I'm
feel
not
like
really
if I
sure how to
stand
help
up, I'm
you.
gonna bleed out, so I'm just gonna stay right here if that's cool with y'all.
Like, if we want him to help us and then like have Santiago join us, I have a way we can get him up.
Sure.
Dredger will walk up and say, yes, we are here at the behest of the new owners of Poseidon Energy.
He's gonna be
Ow.
very fucking interested in that. Like, who owns Poseidon Energy? They fucking died in the Awakening. Who are you talking about here?
Spooky ghost man.
Dredger will just kind of laugh and nod at that. And say, now, we can get you up if you would like to help us in getting out of here and fixing this place, clearing the location. Though we would require you to promise to us that you would not attempt to harm us.
I don't think I'm much harm right now, anyway. Roll persuasion for me.
All right.
While he's talking to him, can Gallant go ahead and frisk this guy for like his artifact theoretically, to see if he has one? Gallant is just super intrigued that he could beat up an exoskeleton man, basically naked.
The second you get close, you see him kind of like moving to square up. Like he's
Relax,
still on
friend.
high alert. Like adrenaline is still kind of pumping.
Can I do a perception
Seven
check
tens.
to see what is? Oh, go ahead.
10s from Tom.
He's gonna ease off a little bit, put up his hands, and go. Look, I am pretty fucked up right now, in like ways that I'm not sure I'll recover from even when healed.
Ironically, we just got in touch with an amazing doctor. His name's Dr. Crab. He's like my best friend.
I don't want to know. I don't want to know about anything you guys are doing at this point.
Either way, we gotta heal you and get you out of here.
I can give info. I've been to the other 3 branches. I barely survived each time.
What's the machine plague?
It's coming from biomechanics. It looks like they were working on something to better integrate machine, like cybernetic implants. That's all I gathered. I had to get the fuck out of there. It is toxic to be in there too long. Even for like people. It was super bad for these guys. He kicks the Mark III next to him. Anything mechanical or electronic it gets into, and when it gets in the armor, these things get really fucking bad, man. There's still probably a couple of these guys wandering those halls. They're not hard to sneak past, but they are fucking impossible to kill, let me tell you.
Dredger will ask
Yeah, and
Gallant.
Gallant like leans to the left of the guy again and just looks at the one on the ground. He's like, "Are you sure? Because you seem like just a guy."
That one's not a plague one. That's just a guy. That is just a guy. The ones in storage are normal guys. I am lucky his faceplate was broken, though. I super was punching up out of my weight class there.
Can I have
So-
that?
Let's get you healed, and then I'll escort you to the top. If you don't want to help us clear it.
Oh yeah. By the way, these are my friends. The skinny man, his name is Mr. Dredger. He's technically our boss. And then the shimmery lady, spooky ghost lady, is Miss Quake. The name is unrelated on that one. I'm not really sure what Dredger means, so that one could be related.
Okay.
Can I do have the permanent perception. Does it look like this guy has machine plague anywhere inside of him?
No. The crack shot, the crack shot armor is mostly ceramic plates overlaid, and he literally just pulled an exoskeleton out of like a Mark III or Mark II. It's not even like the full armor; it's just the servos. So he doesn't have much armor, but it probably makes him very fucking fast.
Can I do a perception check to see where his artifact is?
Yeah, go for it. You can try and figure it out.
I also
4 tens.
It looks as if he had like. There's not too many notable items on him. He's pretty stripped bare, but he's got a weird looking kind of knife thing. He's got a non-standard gun. That's probably a good one. You notice he has a scar on his head that's old. It looks like he's a steel plate in his head. That could be an artifact.
Okay.
The issue with artifacts can be really anything. So
Yeah. Okay. I wasn't sure. So we heal you up, and I escort you to the top. You okay with that?
do we have healing? Wait a minute. As Gallant at this point turns around, he's like, "One of you guys is a healer?"
No, we are not a healer yet. We know where to get healing power, as well as we still have some from our previous ventures, and Dredger will offer this man a healing candy.
he'll just shrug and take it, and you'll see his wounds kind of knit shut as he goes. You guys are with the candy shop, aren't you?
Oh, we're just
Candy
giving him
shop?
food. I pull out the Pop-Tart, and I'm like, "Do you want a Pop-Tart?"
No, it's. Wait, they're selling these things now? I tried to buy some
When-
off of the.
When did you arrive here to know about the candy shop? How long have you been here?
I came here right after the raid. It's been a couple of days.
There's some sort of chrono effect here.
I mean, one of the places is straight up called the Chrono Lab, right?
Yeah, Chrono Mechanics.
Sam, side note, does Gallant know about the candy shop? I feel like he wouldn't.
He would not, no.
Quake
No idea
would
what
recognize
you're
the healing candy, but wouldn't know about the candy shop.
Judger
Or-
will say either way. Yes, they just very recently, perhaps not even several hours ago, did their grand opening.
That's really weird fucking timing on their part, but they're free to run their business as they like, I guess.
So no to the Pop-Tart. I'm going to put this back. Puts
Yeah,
it into my
it's not-
pocket.
Their candy's magic. It's a whole thing.
Oh, okay. Well, magic candy makes more sense. Oh, you're
Either
just
way,
eating food.
would you like an escort up to the top so you can get out of here?
It depends. Did you guys clear out all the undead up there?
Believe so. But
There were dead guys up there?
The entire town. The flotilla's
you mean the
overrun with
guys aren't-
zombies.
Those guys aren't dead. They're just mildly
yeah, that's now with pirates.
underfed and malnourished.
Yeah, there's just pirates
I-
now.
Gallant interacting with a normal human being every time.
I love that Quake is just immediately gone for it.
Look, if you have problems with the guys upstairs, we can put in a good word for you. Like, you should be able, as long as you agree to like be cool and help us out. Maybe trade the schematics because your armor looks like similar, but cooler. I don't know how to describe it. I'm not a tech guy. I mostly just hit things for a living. But
My power
I
can't
know-
lift too much, so I had to keep it light.
But my point was, I had a guy who might be interested in the like schematics for your armor if you're willing to like. We can set you up with like a nice workshop. If you got any friends down here, I'll be happy to rescue them too. Not that I guess you needed rescuing per se, but like we can help. Is the point?
Either way, we'll get you up top. You know, you can figure it out the rest of the way.
All right, just in case, I'll chill here till you guys are done. Just in case shit blows up, though.
Sure. As a quick aside, do you have any friends that you know of that are still alive and need rescuing in any specific direction, so we can go there first?
Do you know if Salazar or Salvador are still alive?
I'm gonna stare at him as blankly as the facial structure of my armor can give him.
Looks like a Vincent Price looking motherfucker. Pencil thin mustache, kind of balding. He's describing
Never seen
the
him in
guy.
my life.
He's describing the guy who was reanimated by the nail upstairs.
Judger will say to that, we did see him recently. He looked rather worse for wear.
He immediately, like, you see, like, a weight taken off of his shoulder, going, "Oh, thank God. At least he's alive."
Judger kind of gestures to Gallant to not say anything.
Gallant is gonna just kind of like go over to the Mark 7 and pick it up, and then walk it over. Like he's gonna disappear from everybody else's view. Walk as in he's moving it to where his pile of loot that he needs to pick up later is, so he doesn't forget it.
It looks incredibly damaged.
It's fine.
yeah.
I'm confident Barry and the team can get the schematic for it at the very least. Gallant has
So-
no idea how building things work.
So this guy doesn't want an escort to the top?
Not right now. He's
I think he's
gonna
gonna
keep an
chill.
eye on you guys.
Comes back like again, indents in ground. Comes back without the armor, and he's like, "All right, well, nice meeting you, Santiago.
Whatever.
I'm gonna call you San.
No.
All right,
One
San. I'll see you
exception.
later."
All right.
And
Better
then
fucking crab man.
where are we going?
Man,
next?
you do have a cool crab suit vibe.
What? Gallant like turns to Quake. What are you talking about, Krabs? Dr. Crab is back at the base.
Yeah, he's back at the base. He's back at the base. I was just saying.
The
I was
instant pivot.
Yeah, I was just saying how cool you look. That was all.
Oh, thanks. Thanks, Quake. You're so... You know, if you weren't dead, I'm sure you'd look mighty cool, too.
Yeah, yeah.
I think the dead part takes away from it. Well, actually, and then Gallant like sits down for a second and starts thinking, maybe being dead is cooler. I don't have time for this, and then he gets up.
All right. Do you guys check out chronomechanics, biomechanics, or singularity research first?
I'm kind of feeling singularity research.
You're the boss man.
So I figured that guy wants to make friends with the people up top, right?
Actually, before we leave, I also turn to San and I go, "Hey, San, what? Didn't like 3 giant robot things walk by you earlier?" Or
Yeah, but I mean they're not hard to dodge.
but you were in the middle of a fight.
Well,
Are they like
not when I
blind?
was walking past them. Oh, kind of blind. I think they got echolocation now or some shit.
Interesting?
I only saw the Mark 3s and 4s primarily. I'm not too sure what they do to Goliaths. I'm not fucking around with them though. I can only teleport like 6 inches.
Well, I've beaten up a smaller but similar looking one, so I'm probably fine. I'm just more worried about you because there's a couple wandering around. But if you're confident you're fine, we're gonna keep going. Singularity, you said, boss. Let me check the hallway. Just starts striding away.
The automated security is a lot tougher here. As in, like, you notice, like, the guns look like unlike anything you've seen before. It looks like they have these giant spheres of collapsing suns pointing at you, but they see a security badge on you. They let you go right by.
Wait a minute. Collapsing suns. Does that count? Armor. This is Gallant to the Overkin. Pretty much in private. He's, I guess, at this point, because I'm in the hallway by myself, he's like, Armor, do you want me to, like, get shot by one of these? I know you got, like, a thing about the defenses thing.
You basically get the emotional equivalent of an ellipses and then, like, the non-committal handshake gesture.
We'll test it. We'll take the badge off for a second. And then I cover the visitor badge that I taped onto my chest.
Okay, one of the collapse turrets instantly pivots to you. There's no projectile. You just slowly lift up in the air.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Hurting?
The issue is you have no connection with the ground or surrounding walls, and you can't really move on your own anymore now.
I will teleport to the turret.
And I become immune to anti-gravity.
See, it's not really affecting you. It's affecting the gravity around you and then creating a singularity near you so it moves you. It's
I'm gonna teleport to the turret and move it so he can go back down.
Well, I figure if I take my hand off the badge, it just stops shooting me, right?
Yeah, the second you take a hand off the badge,
okay,
you
never
just
mind then.
fall right down. And it's just, I'm letting you guys know what the effect is.
Yeah, I was
Okay.
just curious if I can become immune to it. Like, again, the only thing Gallant knows about the Overkin is it's here to help him, and in exchange, he's supposed to get hit by as much new stuff as possible. In picture form.
That's pretty fucking funny.
And it gives him, like, a yay or nay on things it's 100% sure it's safe from, and, like, you know, it'll hurt. And, like, that's kind of, like, the middle ground is, like, it's going to tell him when it's going to hurt so he can, like, mentally prepare for it.
How does it feel about the added bonus of 2 million calories of Pop-Tart?
It's as a part of its backstory, it is always hungry.
Fair.
It's almost
So, like-
reached its caloric requirements for the day.
Yeah, almost. But it's always been a little bit of a glutton, you know. And it prefers meat. Anyway, after testing the theory and Quake coming by to offer assistance, but then the hand removal solving the problem, Gallant's gonna stand and go, I think it's safe to come down the hallway. It looks like they recognize the badges, so I don't think the turrets are gonna shoot us this time. And since technically this is our property, I shouldn't break them, right?
Probably not. We could use them.
Also, this one doesn't actually hurt. It just kind of lets you float around like a butterfly.
Considering it lets you float, do I pick up anything weird on the ceiling with my permanent perception?
No, ceiling's completely normal.
Okay, because like if it makes you start flying, I was afraid it was going to be like some fucking Super Meat Boy shit up there.
All right, you guys.
Like the least effective security system I can imagine.
Damn, I typed something that you can read.
That's that.
I don't know how immunity works. That's just my like first
That
thought.
would
Is that
technically be a separate power because that would be unconventional move. But you do have the Scourgeon now, so he could work with you on that one.
okay? It's fine. I'm just I'm still trying to figure out how immunity,
So immunity
itself.
is like weird effects that hit you specifically, not it turns off gravity in a radius and then makes a separate gravity source to manipulate the stuff in that radius. Like that one's just abusing physics.
That's fine. I was just curious. I'm still learning the immunity rules. That's part of the reason we made this guy is because I was curious about him.
Yeah, no worries.
Anyway.
So as you insert the badge into the slot to enter Singularity Research, the first thing you notice is that there are about 67 separate singularities in this lab. Glass cases holding electrodes in miniature black holes. You see one big one floating in the center with massive arcs of electricity arcing along the containment walls. You notice like a little metal walkway that is near the singularity just spaghettified. It looks like containment is slowly failing.
Do any of these have the same effects that the big singularity has?
Not to the same degree. You do feel weird. Like all of you feel very weird being in here. With with your perception, Quake, you do notice they're not very safe with world-ending things here. There is straight up just the singularity containment things are round. They are spherical, and one is just on a fucking wooden table. It looks like it had started to roll off and was stopped by a pencil.
Can I just say, always with the black holes, never any white holes, which are like the opposite of black holes that shoot out energy, that shoot out elements. They're like theoretical.
Mm-hmm. Or like if you enter black
an
hole,
exploding
eventually
star.
you'll get sent out of a white hole.
Yes, that's why I was like,
Yeah.
think instead of infinite sucking force, it has infinite blowing force.
I
The
can use some
complete-
infinite blowing force if you know what I mean. Anywho,
The complete lack of care that's happening here kind of doesn't surprise Dredger because Dredger thinks back to how when he was Avery and how fucking cavalier Vargas was with the false vacuum.
Made a fucking Dasani time travel machine.
He made a Dasani bottle that could like destroy the universe if you open it wrong.
theoretically, if any of these hit the ground, like it would just
Oh yeah,
instantly
you're all
end.
absolutely dead.
But like it would just kill everything because the black hole would just continue to grow.
So, let's say...
Does
Wait.
depend on size
And
because
I don't know if
black
it would
holes
kill-
do have the tendency of like
So,
falling apart.
You know what? Quake is from Market Street, so they would actually know about singularity mechanics. Singularities, at least the ones the city had developed, are stretched out as far as black holes go. So, like, technically speaking, how singularities work is they grow, but they're inherently unstable. So they would instantly kind of disintegrate, but they would still probably destroy everything within about 16 miles if they're about the size of a ping pong ball. Now, the one in the center of the lab is about person-sized. That's horrifying. That one could destroy the entire flooded district. But, like, the little pinprick ones on the tables and on the floors and stuff, as long as their containment vessel isn't breached, they're safe, but those ones are probably just destroy the flotilla. But the downside is, if you destroy any one of those, it's going to potentially breach the main one.
Wait, are we using actual physics? Because like a pinprick one would actually like just
No, we're not
destabilize.
using real physics. This is
Okay.
Sig physics. This is found.
Okay, I was like, usually they just destabilize and not suck anything in and just crush itself.
We got the advantage of city physics. This
City
used to be-
physics.
Gallant quickly mentally asks the armor if it thinks it can survive being sucked into a black hole.
Resounding no.
But don't you live in space? I don't understand.
It's different.
But isn't a black hole just a lot of pressure?
Dredger
Pause.
takes a moment.
No!
Right. Oh. Wait. So, like, what part of it would kill the Overkin specifically? Like, I understand that the Overkin would just be trapped forever, but what actually gets it?
Okay, so imagine an octopus on your bathroom window. It reaches in a tendril into your bathroom. The main body of the octopus is outside of your house. Now, let's say you have a fucking wood chipper in your bathroom, and the tentacle reaches the wood chipper and it sucks the entire octopus in.
Sam, have I talked to you about this before?
What?
You were describing a nightmare I had once, like
No!
verbatim.
Why does this keep happening, Tom?
I don't know.
That's funny. Alright.
Oh
So
shit!
Gallant kind of will step forward and say, the Overkin is telling us to be careful in this room, which is rare. So
This is
I will stand at the door, unless explicitly told otherwise.
This is quite a frightening place to be. Judger would like to take a moment to analyze if he would be killed by a black hole. Like, yes, his body would be destroyed, but would that actually kill him?
So the octopus analogy still holds true.
Yeah, but he wouldn't die to that.
He wouldn't
Like,
die,
yes, his
but
body would be destroyed,
trapped.
but- I mean, not really. If he dies, he respawns at a location
Okay,
he
let me-
thinks
let
is
me put
his.
it this way. The singularity is not a purely physical force. It's analogous to a black hole, but it is not itself a black hole.
Okay.
Same. But
All
different.
right.
Yeah, exactly.
Unlike these two, Quake knows exactly what would happen to her if she got hit by a black hole.
Yeah, you're a demon, so your soul would be erased forever. You don't get an afterlife this time.
Yeah, I don't get an afterlife this time.
Huh.
So, are we going in or are we just leaving?
It might behoove us to at least see what they were trying to do with them.
I don't know, boss man. This room seems very scientific, and last time I checked, all of our scientific boys live at home.
You do see computers that you could steal and bring back to them.
But since it's cleared out, like, since this place is empty and there's no, like, people, we can come back here.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying. I don't want to make myself extra work, and frankly,
The only time-sensitive thing that might be there is the main singularity, the big one. As you watch it, it goes through these periods of expansion and contraction. It looks like that the contraction is the containment cell thing, the expansion is what it does naturally. It looks like every time it goes out, it eats a little bit more of its containment cell. You don't know how long it has, though.
Either way, that's not something we could solve. So,
I'm gonna tube worm Barry. Ring.
Ring, ring, ring.
Yo, it's a Barry. What's up?
Hey Barry, it's Gallant. I'm looking at a singularity, a big one, and it's
Oh.
like breathing at me, and I don't like it.
Wait, it's moving?
It's breathing, yes. It goes
Okay, you need
out
to-
and then it comes back,
Okay, you need
and then
to
it goes
trigger
out a little farther.
You need to trigger a cascade collapse immediately.
You're using the big words again, Barry. I need.
There should be like a thing.
Third
that's
grade reading
shooting,
level.
There should be like a glass case or like a beam you can shoot at it, and that'll make it so small it eats itself. You need to
All right,
find
I'm-
that and do that immediately.
For a laser beam, I have 4 10s. And
The glass case in the center of the room looks like it has like 2 emitters on the floor and ceiling, just
Okay.
arcing into this thing.
I see 2 laser beams shooting into it. Is that what you're talking about, Barry?
He's gonna pause and go, did you say 2? Fuck, how big is this?
Well, if I had to say, the size of the black part is about me sized. For reference, I am 6'1". And
you hear, like,
the
screaming on the other end, some, like, you frantic yelling. He goes, where the fuck are you guys? Like,
just out on another mission, just doing my job.
okay.
Barry,
Okay,
like you said,
is there
I think it
anything
might be
else
time
in the
to-
area that's dangerous? Because we need to be very careful with anything near that. Because when you hit the button, it could trigger gravity and bring everything in the room towards it. So is there anything dangerous that you don't want broken in there?
Consider
Bunch of
more-
whole little tiny singularities.
Would you consider more singularities bad in that
How are
situation?
there more? How
From
did
my
you even
count,
find
and I'm
one?
good at counting. There's 66 more, I believe. They're
No,
all smaller.
there fucking aren't. No, there.
Yep. They're all in little itty bitty gerbil balls rolling around on the
What do
floor.
you
This
mean
one
they're in-
this one looks like it was stopped on the desk by a pencil.
What?
It's really cool when I start rolling
Barry's
it a little
hyperventilating
bit.
when you mentioned one was stopped by a fucking pencil.
All right, Dredger
Oh,
has an
it's
idea to
great.
fix the situation.
Oh wait, hang on. Boss man says he's got a plan.
We are very uncomfortable. We need to ask you a question, Barry.
Please tell me he's just lying. Please tell me he's wrong.
No, it's probably worse than he's making it
What
sound.
do you mean?
There are so many. Do you know the name Vargas?
The founder?
We once saw him, and he was waving around a false vacuum like it was nothing. We are. This does not surprise us. We need to ask you a question, however, about the mechanics of the black hole. If we can create another containment for the largest black hole, is it stable enough for that to work, or is it contracting a sign that it is coming to the end of its life cycle?
It contracting means it's kind of eating away its containment field. I will say I'm not an expert in this, but we learned about it when I was learning about nuclear physics. It's possible to Jenga the singularities.
I will
Well.
fucking find you.
No, like if you stack them on top of one another and then dump them in the big singularity, it's just gonna eat them. And
So Barry, just to remind you, I am not a Jenga god like you are. Stacking circles is not a thing.
We have
Okay.
several options we can take here. One, we may attempt to find a more supernatural solution. Or two, and we ask this, we will ultimately need you and yours to enter this location and begin to take apart what you find here and catalog it and repair it.
okay.
One of the locations here is called Chronomics. If we can simply find a way to hold time in this room, do you believe that to be stable enough?
You've got fucking time travel. Where the fuck?
Barry, no more questions. I called you for answers.
Okay, okay.
I need
Somebody for you
help,
to tell him to
Barry.
stop swearing.
Now, for the love of our good Lord, tell me how
Yes,
to fix the
it would
stupid
definitely
black
be a
hole.
good idea to go to the time place and see if you can make like a backup or something. I don't know time stuff, but yeah, just dump the smaller singularities into the big one. Get them all. Be very careful. If you break them, you're dead. And then God, there should be like a computer controlling the fucking arc things you see. And that should
There's 4
collapse
computers,
it.
Barry. There's 4 computers. I need more.
What do you mean there's 4? Okay, just do all of them. Just check all of
Barry,
them.
Should we tell
Barry,
Barry
can
where
you
we
go
are?
ahead? Can you go ahead and just go up
teleport
to
here,
exit
Barry.
wounds exit wounds Nook and ask him to borrow his solar board and just bring like you and a couple of the boys to come like fix this. The way to this area is clear. I need you to just get in here. You're not making any sense to me.
Dredger will also say over the line, he'll make a decision and say, the location we are at is Poseidon Energy.
You're at what? That's
Yes.
survived? It's still...
After a fashion.
You are in the fucking... Terry, what's the city of gold in the South America? Do you really have time for that? No, I don't. You're right. Okay.
Why Terry is my second favorite Barry.
Look, you are... Keep everything you have there. Record everything. Poseidon Energy was one of... It was directly under the control of Vargas. It has technology that
I don't want to interrupt
the city.
Just want to let you know, Dredger did not follow that rule. You should have given us that rule before we left.
We did unfortunately have a moment where Hidden Sorrows deleted some schematics, though we assume that computer has...
You could get that back, right, Barry? You and your boys could get
You
that
just
back.
hear a pained squeal. Going, no, Poseidon Energy stuff was top secret. They're gonna... If they delete anything, it's gone.
We have an
may
idea
not
how to
even
get it back
exist
for
in
you.
the past anymore.
What
If
if we
you
use...
can't get it back, we have an idea for you.
All right, well, Barry, we're wasting too much time here. God dang it, Barry, you got me distracted.
You notice the singularity has grown by about 3 inches.
It's 3 inches bigger, Barry. What the hell?
Oh, that's really fast.
Okay.
Fast. You got like 20 minutes.
All right, Dredger is going to find a room where he can make mist so he can teleport and go grab some Gear Boys.
All right. You teleport out. You go grab some Gear Boys.
Alan is going to be carefully start moving the orbs to the big singularity. He doesn't understand entirely what he meant by stack them, so he's kind of just rolling them, not into the pool of the big one yet, because he's not 100% sure that's what he wants, but he's like organizing them closer, and then as it like breathes closer, he backs it up so there's a good like 6 inches of space between. And he's kind of just like pacing the line, waiting for the Gear Boys to show up as he's like babying these things.
All right.
Also, do the Gear Boys know who Hidden Sorrows is?
No.
Good.
Okay, so there's about 66 smaller singularities. What's your coordination plus athletics look like, Alex?
Coordination. Is athletics a skill?
That's a body skill.
Then I would have like 20-something die in it.
But you
Well,
have to
I
roll
guess-
coordination instead of body for this one.
I would have not 6 wiggle die and 4 normal die.
Okay. So, to do 5 per round, if we're doing 1 per round, it's about 3 seconds per 66 times 3. Divided by 60. All right. So in about 4 minutes, which is well below the time limit Barry guesstimated, you begin bringing the singularities to the center of the room. In 4 minutes, you have them all stacked up in what appears to be a safe distance away from the big singularity. Tom, how fast is Dredge? Do you think he can just teleport in, grab Barry, and then teleport over, or whatever Gear Boy?
Yeah, he probably can. His teleport, we were in range on a single teleport. He can teleport to any body of water within range or any body of mist that he knows about. So long as he can do his supernatural targeting on that, he should be able to get in and out within 2 rounds.
Gotcha. Okay. We're gonna elevate it to like 5 rounds, because they're not gonna be exactly where you're thinking for. You have to grab them, get them in the mist, teleport them over.
I assume Barry seemed to know what he was talking about, and this is a rough day for him. He's experienced like the entire gamut of human emotion. What other Gear Boys would you recommend we bring?
You don't really know what the other ones do. You have to spend time asking.
All right, Dredger will appear right in front of Barry and say, "Who else do we bring?"
Gary, grab Gary.
All right, Dredger will go and grab Gary, bring the both of them back to the pool of water he just shot up out of, and say, and jump in the pool with me.
They hesitate for a little bit, but they do get in after a second. Grabbing Gary has cost you like 2 minutes.
Worth. He knows what's up.
All right. They get in there. You see Gallant has just finished stacking the singularities. Now, Quake has a very important job. Hey, Chris, how many objects can you possess at once? Like, not once, but like, how? If multiple
think we
things
just
are
talked- it was-
suddenly, how fast can you chain the teleport?
I mean, I have 8 dice in my teleport, but the possession is just 2 dice.
Okay, so that's like 1 per round.
Yes.
Okay. So, how heavy? What is your weight limit on the possession? How fast? How much mass can you move in one round?
High capacity, I think it's just 100.
That's enough. Okay, you notice after about 5 minutes, the ceiling begins to bend outward on the top emitter a little bit.
Okay.
The top emitter is starting to become detached.
Can I, like, float it? Can I possess it and try to keep it steady?
You absolutely can. You get in there, it's surprisingly light, and you guys see Quake teleport in, and the top emitter begins to slowly push back into the ceiling. Every round, the weight is going to increase a little bit.
Okay.
So
It's a good thing we went in there, because like this could have just been like one day in the middle of session, any session. Sam would say, "Oh yeah," and then like the entire flooded district fucking beefs it.
That's what happened. That's what happened at the in D&D.
What?
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, the fucked up thing is, stuff like this has happened about 6 times in HubSpot already. It's just, there's always stuff to mitigate the effects.
Good.
That's also kind of what happened in V1 when Jackknife showed up. Just fucked up things happened. Anyway,
I mean, we did destroy Market Street, which was an overall positive for the world.
the world got better. Yeah, anyway. Barry's gonna, like, immediately stop when he sees the pile of singularities. He's like, "Oh, you weren't fucking wrong. Oh, you weren't fucking wrong. Okay.
What percentage of his hair would you say has fallen out at this point?
At least 10%. He's gonna go, Gary, on the computers. Gary's computers. Gary's gonna go. He's gonna like fucking like trip over a chair, fucking crash into a desk, stumble his way over to a computer and just start mashing keys. Barry and Gary do not have good coordination. They are Gear Boys, so they're going to work their way over to computers slowly. They're going to work on stuff. Gravity is starting to increase in the room. Everything is starting to feel a pull towards the singularity.
Should I try to use my mitigating, my external mitigating idea?
What's that?
Dredger would open the compliant key if this counts as a new scene.
Yeah.
Would open the compliant key, try to find, like, try to call forth a spirit of the void and see if a being that is like, see if a being who basically is a black hole can help, or like parlay with these black holes.
As you flip through the compliant key, you do get a section on like void-born entities, but the compliant key freezes and the pages suddenly just slam to an entirely different section.
Well, that's never happened before.
You lock on a section called Realm Locked Locations. And the page devolves into gibberish and ink scrawls halfway through. You realize this isn't like a normal compliant key page. The knowledge isn't just interpreted into your head. This is an actual page. This is very wrong.
So I actually have to read and interpret this?
Yeah. It's talking primarily about locations removed from the eyes of God. Self-contained. Like, not even a pocket dimension, because that implies that it is in some way tethered to the original locale. Or that it has to respect the physics it cordoned off. That is not describing the area you're in right now as far as you can interpret, but something seriously wrong is near here, and that's fucking with the compliant key.
All right. Well, that's 2 swings and misses for the compliant key today.
It's just not having a good time.
Dredger will bring this up because he's not entirely certain this is even a magical concept. He'll yell out to the Gear Boys that an artifact we carry suggests this place might be realm locked. Does this mean anything to you?
Not a thing, Gary says as he fucking punches the computer off the desk and moves to the second one.
That's why we like Barry.
He yells out, "Computer 2 down!" Barry's still working on 1. Power supply wavering. And you're in mist right now, Dredger, right?
Yeah, no, the mist is in a different room. I thought it shouldn't be in the computer room.
Very good idea. Anyway, you feel 2 killing hit you on the left shoulder as a pencil at terminal velocity just embeds itself eraser first into your shoulder.
Okay,
You notice tables are starting to shake. Mugs are starting to roll. Barry fucking grabs the computer he's working on and yanks it back.
We believe in you, Barry.
I have another mitigating option, but it didn't go so well last time. We got HR called on us, but I'm thinking we might have to call Dad on this. Because, of all the NPCs I am aware of who we can both contact and would exactly know how to solve this situation, there is only one. Do you guys think I should call Mammon Gray?
No. No, I think we can figure this out.
All right.
I'm confident in Barry and Gary.
Yeah, I'm confident in Barry.
I'm gonna say Barry yells over to Gallant. He's like, "Can you hold the computer down? I can't type and hold it at the same time."
Gallant is going to chime out. Quake, it's your turn to do something useful. As I'm literally appearing and disappearing, moving all 66 of the smaller ones back steadily and avoiding and grabbing all of them.
Sadly possessing the stabilizer that's loose. And holding that.
And holds the
Dredger's
computer down.
Dredger's turn.
Dredger's turn.
All right.
Dredger has... what do I need to roll for that?
Athletics. Body plus athletics.
Okay, that's pretty good. Because Dredger actually has 2 hard dice in athletics.
Oh, that would have been really bad for me.
Oh, Dredger gets 6 10s.
Amazing. You slam it down. It's incredibly fucking heavy. But Barry presses 3 keys, goes, "Got it!" punches the screen into the singularity. The computer's obliterated instantly. Gary and Barry run to the last computer, and they both start typing on the keyboard at the same time.
Oh. Does that mean they're Gear Boy married now?
I don't know. I'm going to need one last athletics check from you, Tom, though, to hold down the last computer.
2 7s and 4 10s.
4 tens will do it. You feel yourself starting to go up. The table is bolted to the ground, so you kind of hook your feet on it, fucking pulling the computer down as Barry actually gets flung out of the chair and has to hold on to the computer as well to not get sucked into the singularity. He's screaming as Gary goes, "Almost got it! Almost got it!" And he slams the enter key as a flash of light hits the big singularity and it disengages. The room is then shrouded in darkness as the facility loses its main power supply and the emergency lights kick on. There are now 66 smaller singularities perfectly safe around the room. Actually, wait, no, hold on. I need to roll for failure chance because that actually does have an AoE. Alright. I am so sorry about that, but the containment field was set to max strength by Barry. So you guys have 5 surviving singularities. The smaller ones.
That, honestly, considering how fucking dangerous these things are, that seems like a benefit.
We could nuke the candy shop with one.
Yeah, actually, I was literally about to say, I feel like Sam just told us we have 5 baby bombs that literally are unsurvivable.
I don't think if we put one of those in the candy shop, I don't think the Plastic Corps of Engineers would let it go off. I think that would just power boost Mr. President in a way I can't even imagine.
I can imagine it, and I can imagine it well.
Beautiful.
Acts of domestic terrorism.
Considering how profoundly cursed the candy shop is, I don't want us to have this idea because some of the stuff going on in that building are things I don't want to interact with a black hole.
What? You don't want to see what happens when you hit the mop with a singularity?
I don't want to know what happens when I hit the mop with a singularity. I don't want to know what happens when Candy Ragnarok hits a singularity.
Mm-hmm.
I especially don't want to know what happens when the singularity hits the sentient void.
I'm gonna, after the situation has kind of resolved itself and I'm left holding 5 orbs essentially, I'm just gonna turn to Barry and Gary and I'm gonna say, great work, gents. Really glad you made it. Happy to have you. Dredger can take you home as soon as, we're all cleaned up here, but any last on how to get rid of these 5? Because you didn't give me a heads up on like when you were finishing, so I couldn't push them in fast enough.
That's fair. That's on us. We kind of panicked at the end there. Hold on. He just goes over to the fucking globe, looks it over, presses a button, and the singularity just turns off. You can press this button to turn it back on.
Like it turned off?
Yeah, it's the on and off switch right here.
Barry. There was a fucking off switch.
You know what? I was panicking. I didn't think. I'm sorry.
While you two are here, may we ask a question before we move into the next chambers?
Yeah, what's up?
Would you happen to, and you may want to sit down for this considering the context in which we learned it.
Mm-hmm.
He'll kind of gesture to chairs that are, I'm assuming, kind of bent and fucked up.
Yeah, one is stretched about 6 feet long from the spaghettification.
All right. Dredger will say, do you know what the machine plague is?
No, and I really, really don't want to. That sounds awful. Have you considered just burying this place?
We
Not
did
an option.
for a few moments. It's not. Yeah, it's not an option though.
Awful shit. All right, guys, I'm sorry to hear that.
Do
you guys even have anything mechanical on you? Because like, if it's a machine plague, just don't have anything machine on you.
Everyone kind of looks around. We don't think so.
I don't think so.
But just in case, because it does say plague, he takes out 3 M96 masks, which are like little gas masks, like little plastic covers you put over your mouth and nose. He goes,
Yeah, the fucking COVID masks.
Yeah, but like clear and plastic and futuristic. He goes, just I don't know, put these on, scrub yourself down afterwards.
Does a machine plague affect a non-living?
As he goes to hand it to Gallon just kind of like shakes his head and he's like, I think the armor can protect. It's saying it already handled whatever that is.
And then like when he reaches to grab it back from you, it just kind of disappears when Hidden Sorrows puts it on.
Fair enough. He goes, fair enough. He looks at his hand and goes, looks at Gallant because he knows he can move faster than he can see. Thinks about it for a second, just side eyes you. He goes, okay.
What? What's wrong, Barry?
Nothing. You know what? Let's just get out of here.
Okay. Thanks, Barry. You're great. Keep up the
you're
great
pretty
work.
good yourself. All right.
This is why we pay you the big bucks, right?
I get paid?
Shelter, safety, and food.
Oh, yeah, right. Those things.
And the ability to work on basically whatever you want, except when we need you to work on something else.
Now, as an point of excitement for you in exchange for this Heller situation, we did find a number of 3D printers.
Immediately they both perk up. Like, yeah?
Yes, the hardware still works. Unfortunately, some of the schematics that were saved within them were deleted from that location by Hidden Sorrows, but we do have an idea how to restore them for you.
Oh, you're going to use the time machine and the chrono mechanics to reverse time on it.
Ginger kind of looks around and says, "That was not our idea. That is probably
Wait, that wasn't
significant."
our idea?
That wasn't Ginger's idea.
I just want to say, out of character, I knew Tom was not thinking that. Gallant could never suggest that.
Oh, I figured that, but like,
I had no idea.
Quake's just
what
like,
Tom was
wait,
alluding
that
to, but
wasn't
I knew
your
it
plan?
wasn't the time machine. Tom has a different scheme involving some evil deity that his friend deity knows. I know this from experience. None of Tom's plans are ever, we're going to use the advanced science I found in this other room.
No,
It's
we're going to
always
talk to evil
I'll
gods.
summon an elder god to sort this problem.
I mean, the important thing
People would just be like,
about
we
Outer
literally have
Gods-
a time machine. Just use the time machine.
Yeah, the important thing you got to know about Outer Gods, though, they're so powerful. They exist outside of time, and everyone is scared to death of them. You know what that means?
Their
They're all
schedule's open.
fucking lonely.
Yeah, they're all very
They love
lonely.
to take calls.
I love to take calls.
Like, Cthulhu isn't capable of knitting you a sweater when you come to visit every Christmas and no other times of the year, but he can't give you tread knowledge.
Spoken like a true fucking cultist. So I think wrapping up the singularity portion, I think we're gonna have to make this a two-parter, unfortunately.
That's fine.
Yeah,
I won't be able to do next Friday, so we'd have to do a different day.
that's fine. We can.
Because I leave for California Friday.
Oh, yeah.
The Saturday after, the Friday after is the 23rd.
I don't return until the 1st.
Oh, okay. We'll just hold off until then.
Are you like completely out of being able to do the RPG? Just, I know it's a family thing. I'm just curious if it's like.
Yeah, her family's pretty strict on like prayers and stuff, so we'd be interrupted quite a lot.
It's not. I'm still on the phone with my friends. We're finishing. I just came out for another drink.
Jesus fuck, Nyla, you fucking hellion.
Cool. Then we can do not next week, but the week after. That's fine.
Yeah, so
Honestly,
we
that's
can
probably
do.
best.
Yeah, we can do. So yeah, we can do the 1st when I come back.
Okay.
Is that a Friday/Saturday?